Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Aquinas High School for tonight's WJBF Game Night live broadcast. And we have got a doozy tonight. Number 4, Aquinas undefeated, taking on a one-loss Lincoln County team that's ranked 5th in the state. I'm Ashley Brown. I'm joined in the booth by my partner tonight, Ryan Bowers. And Ryan, we've got two very good teams, and we got folks that haven't heard this name. We're going to see one of the best players in the state, Brendan Douglas.
Brendan Douglas, a guy that has trained with us this offseason at Athlete Sports Training Academy. Got a lot of colleges hot on him. He's a big player, a very strong player, been strong since he was young. We've been hearing about this guy since he was in the 9th and 10th grade.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing Brendan tonight, but also Lincoln County's got their a pretty good little running back in their own right by the name of Mikey McIntyre. He's run for almost 600 yards already this year on just 76 carries. He averages almost 8 yards a carry, so it should be a pretty good matchup between two of the very best running backs in the area tonight. We got the captains just about set to go to midfield, and we're about to send it down for our coin toss. Just letting you know that this is one of the biggest matchups in the state with Aquinas, like I said, undefeated at number 4 in single A. Lincoln County comes in. They are a one-loss club. They lost to Washington Wilkes early in the year, but Lincoln County also sits right there at number 5 in the state. So it's two of the top 5 teams in single A doing battle tonight. This is a game that a lot of people have pointed to since the beginning of the year. We got ourselves a barn burner tonight. Absolutely.
Aquinas is one of those teams that over the years have been getting better and better. Helps to have players like Brendan Douglas on that team, but as well as having a coach like Lazat, a young up-and-coming coach, recognized by a lot of people in the area. And then you've got an older gentleman by Coach Campbell who's done a lot, hasn't he?
Well, yeah, Coach Larry Campbell, we're going to be talking about that throughout the game. Career wins 563, 111 more than the second most in the history of the state of Georgia. Pretty remarkable. Right now, though, let's send it down to the field for the FPL Foods coin toss.
All right, guys, y'all shake hands in here. '74, you calling the toss?
Yes, sir.
This is the tails. Says tails on this side. This is our heads. It's an official, okay? What's your call?
Tails.
Tails. If I drop it, I'll flip it over, okay? He's called tails. That'd be a tails. You won the toss. You want to receive. Which goal do you want to defend, Green?
We want our backs to the scoreboard.
All right, turn your backs to the scoreboard. White's looking this way. Lincoln wins the toss and will receive.
Lincoln County will receive.
Green will be kicking it. All right, guys, let's have a good game.
So there you go. Aquinas will be kicking off the football to Lincoln County to get us started up, and we'll do it just after this break. We got ourselves a great matchup, folks. Don't go anywhere. Aquinas, number 4 in the state, hosting number 5 Lincoln County. Ryan Bowers, myself, and the entire WJBF crew coming right back for the kickoff after this. And welcome back. There you see it. A little bit of this atmosphere we have. It is good, like you said, an incredible matchup. And look at the fans out here in droves for Aquinas. Lincoln County brought a big crowd as well. They were tailgating at 5 o'clock this afternoon, and that's the way it should be for a big matchup like this. So here we go. We're underway. A short kick, fielded and fumbled by one of the upmen for Lincoln County, and well coached. He got right on the football. That is Zyrekus Letman. He's one of the top receivers. Lincoln County will have it at the 22.
You can see his eyes never went to the football. He was continuing to look at who was coming face-to-face with him.
Yeah.
And there he goes. He drops it.
Hey, I understand that, but as a football player, hey, you got to catch it. But, yeah, I understand that. He's worried, getting popped. But Letman is the top receiver on this Lincoln County team, and they do throw it a little more this year than they have in the past. Although we were told to keep an eye on who they have at quarterback tonight, and they do have a different quarterback in than who we thought we might see. Ben Turner's their normal starter.
It's like number 5, Lockhart there.
Yeah, Lockhart is in there at quarterback. That is Lakeith Lockhart. He is a sophomore. They're very high on him. So no Ben Turner tonight. Lockhart in there at QB.
Looks like a heck of an athlete. That's one of the things you get out of Lincoln County. I mean, they continue to produce great athletes year after year.
Yeah, the stats are just unbelievable running through them. 36 region titles, 14 state championships, 700 total victories, 463 wins by Larry Campbell. He's technically the only coach Lincoln County has ever had. Now, Lincolnton High School had more, but in '72, he started the program here at Lincoln County High. They fake the handoff. Lockhart's going to keep it and pick up nice yardage around the right side. He's brought down by Reuben Garnett, the sophomore defensive back.
Now, Lockhart is only a sophomore. We see here on the replay, fakes the handoff So that's Mikey McIntyre.
And a sophomore tackling sophomore there. A couple of good young-looking players. And
we should be watching Brendan Douglas here lined up at one of the linebackers, number 44 there.
Yeah, right in the middle in green for Aquinas is one of the state's top players, first-team All-Stater a year ago as a junior, Brendan Douglas. We'll be talking about him a lot. Matter of fact, some of the Lincoln County folks said I've been talking about him too much leading up to this matchup.
We'll see if he earns the right here tonight.
And they do hand it to McIntyre. He is a kid who transferred from Harlem last year. A little controversy when he made the move over, but he has fit in nicely. I mentioned he's got 590 yards and 8 touchdowns on just 76 carries. And from what I'm told, this is a offensive line, sort of like Aquinas. All these kids are playing varsity football pretty much for the first time in a starting role.
Yeah, you can see a smaller offensive line than what they're used to having.
Yeah.
But you can assure yourself that they've been well coached.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a football machine there at Lincoln County. Aquinas trying to get to that point. There's Letman on the end around, and he is brought down by Douglas.
One of the things we'll see here tonight with a young quarterback, a 10th grade sophomore quarterback there, Lockhart, he's going to have a lot of options. As you see, he's got an option to pull. He's reading the defensive end. As the defensive end follow the receiver across face, he'll pull it then and go around the end. So sometimes with decisions to make, turnovers come as a
absolutely.
result.
Well, throughout the night, you'll see the instant replays. They're brought to you by Ford and your local Ford dealers, and we appreciate their support of high school football in the area. Now we're going to see Lincoln County punt this thing away here. They've got an outstanding punter. Matter of fact, we're seeing two of the better punters in the area. Brendan Douglas averaging over 40 yards a punt. And for Lincoln County, handling the punting chores, I'm trying to check that number. It looks like a different punter than I expected to be back there. Taz
Looks
Lindsay
like Max Ashmore.
Okay, there you go. So it is Ashmore. I was thinking it was 7, but it is number 1. So Ashmore is the punter and place kicker for Lincoln County, but they're going to back him up again with another penalty. So 5-yard penalty.
They just lost a great punter last year in Moore.
Yeah, they sure did. Garrett Moore's dad, of course, Chris Moore, that punted in the NFL for a number of years. He'll be punting it back to an exciting young sophomore player named Taz Lindsay. They're very high on him here at Aquinas as well. It's a good punt. Lindsay coming up to field it. It's going to let it bounce, and it takes a Lincoln County bounce inside the 40 down to the 38. And that is where Aquinas will start shop when they get the football.
We're going to be able to take a look here at another good player on defense, number 34, Deshaun Taylor, running back and a linebacker. A senior, very strong, as I was told, benches around 400 pounds.
Well, he's one of those guys, Ryan, we say he looks the part. When you see him, you think football player. I mean, he looks like he could be playing on Saturdays right now. I was impressed with him last year. We did the Lincoln County McCormick game, and I was glad to get a chance to see him play again this year.
Looks like they're going to a pistol formation here.
They'll do that some, and they'll do it a lot of times direct snapping it to Douglas. This time Klaczynski is the quarterback, and he hands it to Douglas. And he is brought down. Good play by number 14 for Lincoln County. Jalen Wade, another sophomore.
It's like a 2-yard gain.
So Douglas picks up 2. Last year he rushed for over 1,700 yards. This year he's well on his way to that. He's almost at 800 already.
And we were talking prior to this that, trained with me during the offseason. Mark Rick had him at camp, timed him twice.
Yeah.
4.46.
Yeah, I talked to Matt Lazat today. He said, they timed him, and you had told me that. So I knew that. And he said, they didn't believe it. They made him run it again, and he ran it again. Klaczynski on a screen pass. A little double pass possibly here. Lindsay looking downfield. He's got a man, but he underthrows it, and it's tipped in and out of the hands of the Lincoln County defender. He was trying to go to Douglas, and if he had let him, it was a touchdown.
I think Aquinas recognizes that they're going to need to take some risks tonight. Lincoln County has a history of being a really good team, and here's one of your risks.
If he had a little more on that, Douglas was well behind the defensive back on the play. Actually, that was the quarterback, Lockhart, who stepped up and made the play. So Lincoln County and Aquinas, great matchup here for WJBF Game Night Live. It's 3rd down and about 8 for Aquinas. Gray Klaczynski is the senior quarterback, great student as well. Recently actually won WJBS Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Gray, an excellent baseball player as well. He worked with us in the offseason this year. Got to see him continue to develop his athleticism.
Delay a game.
And we got to delay a game
5-yard penalty
on Aquinas. So that'll back him up. So it'll be 3rd and 13 now. Not what you want to do against Lincoln County. You got to take advantage of everything you have. You can't. Penalties and turnovers are going to kill you against a solid program like this. 31 straight times the two have played and Lincoln County has won. All time it's 31-2-1, but like I said, 31 straight. Aquinas would love to break that drought tonight.
I think this would be their best opportunity with Brendan Douglas here as a senior.
And they hand it to Lindsey on the little end around. Lindsey's got some speed. He breaks a tackle or two, and he's up close to the first down. He's going to be
about a yard short.
About a yard short, but it's a nice play call. They probably were keying on Douglas on that left side. They had him spread out. Here's the interesting thing about Douglas, and this is fun if you're a head coach. Not only is he your best runner and defender and all that, he's also the best blocker. Better than the lineman. Lazat told me he's even better than the down lineman as a blocker. So they had him out there on the end blocking on that play, and it worked out for a big game. They're going to go for it on 4th and 1. They snap it to Douglas.
Direct snap to Douglas.
And he's going to get the first down.
He does have the first down.
That's a gutsy call, and I had no question that Matt Lazat would go for it there, but it also sort of sends a message to Lincoln County that they think they can get yardage with Brendan Douglas.
Again, the second risk of the night. Goes forward on 4th down. We've already seen a double pass tonight.
Sure.
So maybe we'll see an onside. Maybe we'll see fake punts.
Well, last year Aquinas hung in there with them for a while, and then Lincoln County pulled away. And there's Matt Lazat. Fear the beard, baby.
Fear the beard.
Last year he had the floppy long hair, and this year he's got it cut tight, but he's got that beard looking like Brian Wilson of the Giants. Direct snap to Lindsey here. I keep saying Lindsey. That is Reuben Garnett. My apologies. Lindsey is 4. Garnett is 1. Reuben, both of them are sophomores. Both are kids that will be recruited in a couple of years, already getting some attention from some colleges, although they're both in 10th grade. So Reuben Garnett is the man, number 1, who had the end around a moment ago and has also just had the direct snap. And it looks like Garnett is in there for the direct snap again. He's got Douglas in the backfield with him.
We'll see if he has a handoff option here.
And he's got a man in motion. That is Taz Lindsey. Now he's got Lindsey with the lead blocker. They had Douglas as the lead blocker. Taylor, the man we mentioned in the pregame, comes over and makes the tackle.
Douglas has the lead blocker on that play. It looks like, Lindsey didn't follow him around the edge like he was hoping. Maybe he should have kicked out on that play instead.
Yeah, he did cut it up, and Douglas didn't really have anybody to hit. As he went around, the ball carrier cut it up, and all the defenders went that way.
You're taught in that situation, hit the first red uniform, white uniform that you see.
If you're just joining us, 2 of the top 5 teams in the state of Georgia in Class A, Aquinas. Last year won their first ever postseason game, and then you got a team that's won 36 region titles. So it's a tale of 2 different clubs. Boy, they are evenly matched, it looks like, so far tonight. And we got another flag down. This officiating crew.
Dead ball, delay a game.
And we do have another delay of game on Aquinas.
Still 3rd down.
This officiating crew, by the way, that is Chip Huffman. He is the referee. The umpire is Jerry Sagas. The linesman is Elliot Bing. The line judge is Mark Turner. Side judge is Chip Fulmer. Brian Prince is the field judge, and the clock operator is Art Ron. This group, by the way, this officiating crew will be doing the Lowndes County-Valdosta game tomorrow with a crowd of about 16,000 at the game. Already sold out.
Chip Huffman, an excellent umpire there.
And here comes Brendan Douglas on the screen. He is upended. Nice play defensively. Made that time by Lincoln County. It's number 27, Jalen Franklin. And Franklin made a heck of a play.
Smart tackle going below the knees there on Brendan Douglas.
Well, absolutely. You've got to, if you try to arm tackle Brendan Douglas, and you know this better than I do, the kid benches 400 pounds. He runs a sub 4.5 40, and he weighs about 205 or 210. You try to arm tackle him, you're going to have a long night.
One of the things we tried to work on. Let's see here if we get a fake punt out of these guys.
Well, we'll see his punting ability. He averages about 40 yards a boot, and this is a pretty good punt here. And the return man for Lincoln County is going to call a fair catch right about the 10-yard line. And we'll take a timeout here. Aquinas, Lincoln County, we got ourselves a dogfight. It's 0-0 midway through the first. We'll be back with WJBF Game Night Live in just a moment. And we welcome you back to Aquinas High School, WJBF Game Night Live. We're scoreless midway through the first quarter. And while we got a moment, Lincoln County's yet to get back on the field. Let's go ahead, if we can, and go down to the sidelines for an Augusta Auto Auction sideline report with Stephanie French. Steph, what do you got?
Yeah, of course, definitely a highly anticipated game this week. definitely top 5 teams. The last time that the Irish did have a very good season was 8-3 in 1972. That was when Tony Dakin, a former NFL player, was playing for the Irish. Of course, we'll see how they do again tonight.
All right, thanks a lot, Stephanie. And Lincoln County has the football. They attempted a pass play, and it looks like a flag is down, and the fans don't like it. And it's understandable because I didn't see what the call was there. Let's see what the call is.
Whatever it was must have started early on in the play because we saw it. We did not see it.
They're calling it offensive. Yeah, they're calling it offensive, actually.
Okay.
That makes a little more sense,
yeah. Because otherwise that ball was thrown well over the head of the wide receiver.
The intended target. Yeah, the target was Letman, Jairicus Letman. Let's see what. It's offensive pass interference on Lincoln County. Wow.
And there's one of your option plays. He had the option
second down
of handing the ball off or pulling it and passing.
And there you see the great crowd Aquinas has on their side, and Lincoln County's side is full as well, folks.
Great atmosphere here tonight.
Yeah, this is about as good as it gets. I mean, in single A football, throw that out the window. These are 2 good football teams. They hand it to McIntyre, and McIntyre is brought down. And who got him? Brendan Douglas.
Brendan Douglas brought down about the 6-yard line. McIntyre starting off about 2 yards deep in the end zone, so they're going to feel a little more comfortable at the 6-yard line.
In just a moment, when we have an opportunity, we'll let you know the starting lineup for the defense of Aquinas. Our starting lineups this year brought to you by the Eye Guys for Eye Physicians and Surgeons of Augusta. Here we go. A snap into the backfield, and it's Lockhart looking downfield. Nowhere to go. He's going to run with it, and he's hit hard and brought down by a host of green jerseys, and Douglas comes flying in over the top. So a good job by the Aquinas defense.
Looks like he got out of the end zone, but he was dancing. He was dancing around there in the end zone for about 3 seconds.
Well, Shalom Alvarez is the man who got there, 82 first. Watch Shalom Alvarez make the play first.
Yeah, prior to the play, I was going to say the 3 interior linemen there, nose guard and 2 defensive tackles for Aquinas, got decent size.
Boy, Aquinas has Lincoln County backed up way back into their own side of the field. And they're going to be punting it from the very back of their own end zone. This is Max Ashmore. And there's Taz Lindsay. Taz Lindsay is all the way up at Lincoln County's 40, so Aquinas should get great field position here.
Looks like they're looking for a big return here. They're not rushing the punt.
Taz Lindsay going to let it hit, and it's going to bounce and go. Oh, pretty good field position. I mean, the ball's going to be right around the
30-yard line.
30, yeah, around the 30 or 35, somewhere in there.
35-yard line. We got some cloth on the field.
So a good series by the Aquinas defense.
Got 2 flags down. We'll see momentarily what that is.
Late hit on 47.
And in a moment, when we have an opportunity, we will get you the starting lineups. And also, we got to take a look at our players to watch. Those are brought to you by a little company called Athlete Sports Training Academy and Peak Rehab Fitness. Ryan, do you know anything about that company?
Oh, I know very, very much about that company. You see them on the screen there, Athlete and Peak Rehab. Lonnie Hergott, my partner there with Peak Rehabilitation.
The fun thing about having you on the broadcast this year, whether on sidelines or up here, is the fact that you work with a lot of these guys in the offseason, so you get to know what they're doing in the combines, what type of work they're doing, and it's great hearing that insight sometimes you don't get to hear, and I know you've worked closely with a couple of the Aquinas players already that you've mentioned.
We had our umpire Chip Huffman in last year who had rolled his ankle during one of the games.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
I got to give him a hard time. You can't get hurt refereeing. Come on, Chip.
These guys do move around a lot.
A little miscommunication maybe in the backfield, but Douglas is going to pick up good yardage. He is slammed to the turf, and that's the matchup I want to see.
44 and 34.
Did you see the strength of Taylor, though? He grabbed him with the left hand and slammed him to the ground. Boy, that is some strength because that's a big fella he's bringing down.
Absolutely.
Not before Douglas picks up the first down, though, for Aquinas. Now Douglas with the direct snap. He takes it right up the middle, and he's going to pick up about 5.
And I want to say runs right through 34, Taylor on that play. So they're going at it already, we can see.
I said he had the first down the last play. Actually, because of the penalty, he was backed up. He gets the first down there. There's a good look at Brendan Douglas. Being recruited heavily, he's got offers from a ton of the FCS schools, the former Division I AA, but a lot of the big programs in the ACC and a few others looking his way. Now Klaczynski in the backfield. He's going to give it to Douglas. Douglas stopped in the backfield this time. Great job by Letman at the defensive end spot. Number 8, Zyrikus Letman, who made the stop. Quickly, if we have a moment, let's go down to the sidelines for an Augusta Auto Auction sideline report. Stephanie has more on Brendan Douglas. Steph?
Yeah, of course. Brendan Douglas, we're going to hear his name a whole lot. And, A.B., you were here last year when we had Coach Lazat had the quote of the year about Brendan Douglas. We talked to Brendan last year a little bit about where he wants to go to school. You guys, of course, he said he didn't know yet. He was still a junior at that point in time. But hopefully we'll hear another great quote of the year from Lazat about Brendan Douglas later.
There you go. Thanks, Steph. Yeah, Coach Lazat is definitely quotable.
Absolutely.
Last year he looked right into the camera and said, come get you some. Well, tonight Lincoln County's coming. Let's see what happens. Here's our fourth instant replay. Taz Lindsay
you can
was
see
the
great
receiver.
footwork there.
Yeah.
Puts his hand down and continues to get another 3 or 4 yards on the play.
That's stuff you can't teach him. He's a 10th grader, just natural reaction.
Or you can teach it at Athlete Sports Training Academy.
There you go. What am I saying? The guy that can teach us right here. Greg Klaczynski in a shotgun. We had some movement up front. Immediately, Lincoln County is pointing
County
it.
players, yes, point to Aquinas, and looks like Aquinas will be backed up.
Aquinas lost 4 of their 5 starting linemen off last year's team. One of those linemen, Will Few, is on the travel squad at Ole Miss as a long snapper. And so, again, like Lincoln County, we talked about their inexperience up front. Aquinas is battling that as well. The key side, though, is that left side. Napoleon Williams and Jeff Fox on the left side of the line, and that's where we had the movement. But that's usually the strong side of this offensive line for Aquinas. So Greg Klaczynski.
Out of the pistol formation. Looks like they have a little bit of trouble there with the handoff.
Yeah, that play was never really settled a little bit. I don't know what
looks
what
like
went
he wanted
wrong.
looks like Klaczynski wanted to hand the ball off and then ends up throwing the ball. I don't know if he had an option on that play or not.
Yeah, there was some miscommunication there, but it is going to bring up a 4th down. And here's the guy that I thought. You want to talk about Athlete Sports Training Academy and Peak Rehab players to watch? My personal player to watch, and I've told people this, is the guy back deep for Lincoln County. In a close game, he already has, I'm talking about Jamar Norman, he already has, there he is, number 26. He's got 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown and a punt return already. We're midway through the season, regular season. He's a key in this close game. I think he could be the game breaker. Aquinas has to contain him, and one way to do it is just punt it away from him, and that's what Douglas has done.
Great punt out of bounds at what, the 3 or 4? Well, we're going to say it's about the 6 or 7 yard line.
Yeah, they're going to say the 6 is where it went over the, broke the plane. But that's the thing about Brendan is we talk about him as a runner and a tackler from running back and linebacker, but he also is one of the area's best punters, averaging 40 yards a punt.
This is the field position that Aquinas is going to want to have all night defensively.
Well, yeah, this is where you need to get another stop. You've already forced him to punt out of the end zone once. And you got a young quarterback in there getting a start tonight. Lockhart, he rolls out looking to throw. They set up the screen. It was set up nicely, but the throw was just short-armed a bit by the quarterback.
Never had the opportunity to set his feet and throw, so there you see the pass thrown short. Offensive coordinator and assistant head coach Doolittle for Lincoln County, a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
Son played at Presbyterian College with me.
Well, it's interesting, too, and we got a timeout on the field, and we will take a break with them. We got a timeout on the field. Aquinas and Lincoln County, we are scoreless here in first quarter play. We'll be back. WJBF Game Night Live from Aquinas. Back in a moment.
And don't forget to stop by the cheer tables. We've got lots of great new merchandise this year.
Hey, James.
Hats, sweatshirts, stickers, and don't forget the $1.
Oh, and I hear we're keeping it here, actually. My apologies. Aquinas here, you get a good look at the two teams talking over their coaches.
Again, I was saying Coach Doolittle was at Gardner-Webb before he made the move over to Lincoln County, which I would think that he'd be next in line to possibly
if Larry Campbell ever quits. 41 years and counting for the Lincoln County head coach. And we mentioned the victory number, 463. And here's a number that stood out to me. It's not like he's slowing down. Since 2003, Lincoln County is 112 and 18.
112 and 18.
So here we go, and let's see what Lincoln County can do. They have the football, but they're backed up deep, 2nd and 10. Lockhart hands it to McIntyre, and he's going nowhere.
Right there in that situation, you want to get the ball out. Brennan has his hands on the ball, and you can see, I mean, at the next level, he'll be taught to rip right away. And he's got a perfect opportunity to rip the ball out right there and does it. He's a strong kid. These are the little things that he'll learn at the next level.
Yeah, McIntyre, a talented young running back, but you're right there, trying to strip that football. Third down and about 12.
Touchdown otherwise.
Actually, check that, third down and about 9. And Lockhart in a shotgun.
Looks like it's going to be a pass.
He throws it. It was in and out of the hands of Letman. You got to catch that one. It was a little high, but you got to hold on to that.
Looked like a very catchable ball. Letman is a very tall receiver, long arms. Should have had that.
For the season, Letman with over 20 catches and over 300 yards, but he misses that one, and that's going to force another Lincoln County punt with 19.6 seconds left here in the first quarter.
If you're looking to play at the next level and you're on either one of these teams, it's a great game for you because people are going to be watching.
Yeah, you know there are going to be
Douglas
folks here. Yep.
And there's several players on Lincoln County's team that they're going to want to
Deshaun Taylor,
see
Mikey
as well.
McIntyre, no doubt. There you see sophomore Taz Lindsay back deep. Ashmore with the punt.
Again, choosing not to rush.
And it's
I don't even think they're rushing one.
Well, when you're getting the ball at the 34, I don't know that you got to worry about it, and that's where they'll start up shop. 34-yard line, 1st and 10. One of the big things in a close game, turnovers and field position. Aquinas is dominating field position right now.
Yeah, I think you'd want to put a little bit of pressure on the guy punting out of the end zone. But,
yeah,
you know.
Well, that and also, you know, even though you're getting it at 34, there's nothing wrong with running that back.
Exactly.
But, yeah, I agree with you. I think the pressure would be what I would do too. But Aquinas electing to try and set up a return, but a fair catch made that time. Some shifting in the backfield. Douglas in a Wildcat offense, so they're going to get the snap off. They do. Douglas up the middle. And he's going to pick up about
5-6 yards, absolutely.
So we're closing in here. You see it on the end of the first quarter. And we will take a break here for the end of the quarter with the score 0-0. We got a good ball game brewing here at Aquinas High School. We'll be right back with second quarter action on WJBF Game Night Live. And welcome back to Aquinas High School. There you see the Fighting Irish cheerleaders. They have had a lot to cheer about, not just in football. The basketball team made it to the Final Four a year ago. The baseball team has made some great runs over the last few years. And, of course, this football team last year setting a school record with 9 wins and their first ever postseason victory. And now they've got the ball in good field position.
We've got one pair of pink socks out there for Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
There we go. Yeah, there's a screen pass out into the flats and a great block that opened it up for Lindsay. He might score. Touchdown Aquinas. Taz Lindsay on a screen pass from Greg Kwasinski, and he got a great block out there. We'll see it on the replay, and that opened it up for the touchdown.
Absolutely. Great block and a great couple of moves there. Pulls away from one defender, slips the tackle, and he's in for a touchdown.
And let's see, the block was made by number 47 for Aquinas. That is Chris Lambert, a junior. And Lambert is able to get the block, and that allows Lindsay to run pretty much scot-free into the end zone.
That looked to be Lockhart on the missed tackle there, our quarterback for the evening.
Well, they've been trying to get that little screen pass going, and they finally got it in a perfect timing for it. And the kick is up. It is good. So Aquinas on the very first play of the second quarter gets a screen pass for a touchdown to Taz Lindsay, and they lead it 7-0. We'll take a quick break here, and we are back at Aquinas High School in just a moment with the Fighting Irish on top of Lincoln County, 7-0 on WJBF Game Night Live. And we're back at Aquinas High School, a great atmosphere for football, and we got ourselves a good game. Lincoln County down to Aquinas 7-0. Last year they struggled a little bit early, and Aquinas gave them a fit, and then Lincoln County pulled away. Let's see what happens this time around with a very good Aquinas team ranked 4th in the state, but Lincoln County certainly no slouch. We're going to hear more about that Lincoln County history in just a moment from Stephanie French. Ryan, you were saying something about the read Aquinas made on that last play.
Yeah, Lazat's a smart coach. Was a good football player. Probably recognized that they were loading the box with Brendan Douglas getting a lot of snaps. And with a few guys in the secondary, go ahead and throw the screen pass, and there you got an early lead, 7-0.
Absolutely, and This is when you got a guy like Douglas, he helps you in so many ways because you're right. The team's key on him so much, it opens the door for these sophomores, Taz Lindsay and Ruben Garnett, who have already had big plays.
They're going to kick it deep here. Yep, looks like they're going to go ahead and kick it deep.
The sophomore kicker for Justin Thompson kicking the ball off for Aquinas. And the man who made the block a moment ago, Lambert, makes the tackle on the return. Number 27, Jalen Franklin, was the return man, and Lambert makes the tackle. Here's our forward instant replay. That kick all the way back inside the 10, and Franklin had a head of steam, but he was stopped by Lambert.
I tell you, one of the things that gets me, I was a kick returner.
Yeah.
Guys who don't catch the ball coming forward but are taking steps back when they catch the ball, you're losing about
hurt
5
your momentum.
yards.
Yeah, hurt your momentum, yeah. The quarterback.
Those blocks don't hang in there for very long either.
Yeah, that's true. The quarterback is Lockhart. Little option play, and I like the play call here. But, boy, Brendan Douglas stayed home. Woo!
Big hit.
Wow.
Slings him to the ground. You can see his strength. If that's not a power clean with a human individual.
Yeah. I love the play call, but Douglas, watch him read the play the whole way. Fought off the block, and really McIntyre didn't put a good block on.
Face mask to the chest. Textbook tackle.
Well, we've got our Augusta Pain Center hits of the game. That's probably going to be one of them by Brendan Douglas. So shotgun formation again for Lincoln County. Trying to get something going. Screen pass. Got a flag down as they complete the pass and pick up some yardage, but that was Franklin.
Usually on a screen, you're going to see a hold there. We'll see if his fellow wide receiver.
Well, the one thing we heard from some of the Lincoln County faithful, one of the things we heard from the Lincoln County faithful was the fact that the line is very young, very inexperienced, and just has not done a great job this year.
Looks like it was a legal shift.
So an illegal shift, had more than one man moving maybe at one time there in the offense. So the Red Devils trying to get something going. And really, we were talking about Douglas and the Aquinas offense. The Aquinas defense has been what's impressive so far.
Well, they've had good field position to be in as well.
And Lambert throws it.
Again, over the head. Again, you got a young quarterback.
Well, and we don't know the situation with the other quarterback, Ben Turner. He's a kid who had completed over 40 passes out of about 89 attempts. Don't know why there's a change, but, if there's an injury. But Lockhart's having a tough time throwing the ball.
Stephanie, if you're out there listening to us, that'd be a great question to have.
Yeah, Steph. See if you can find out if Ben Turner, the other quarterback at Lincoln County, if he's injured or there was just a change made for, obviously Lockhart's got some talent. He's only a 10th grader. So Stephanie French going to check on that for us. Shotgun formation again.
Rolling right. He's going to throw on the move.
This time he makes a great throw and a good catch made with a defender all over Letman. So that, right as I said, he's struggling throwing. He makes a great throw.
And a great catch by Letman with a defender on him. So
it's about right here.
You can see. Got a hold.
So a holding call on Lincoln County, and boy, the Red Devils right now are just absolutely going nowhere offensively. When they do have a good play, we've seen penalties the last two.
Mistakes.
Yeah.
On the offense,
mistakes. Whether it's turnovers or penalties, they'll kill you every time.
And something that Larry Campbell is not accustomed to. You don't win 463 games over your career and 14 state titles making mistakes. And there you see the Fighting Irish up 7-0 early here in the second quarter. WJBF Game Night Live. Lockhart backed up deep near his own end zone. He's going to keep it and run with it. Oh, and he had a cut up the middle, but he slips as he makes the cut.
And Brendan Douglas was possibly going to be there.
Yeah, Douglas was right there with him. Let's watch on the replay. You will. Douglas sort of had him mirrored. Watch 44 in green. And McIntyre goes to the outside, and Douglas was right there, but Lockhart slips down.
On the replay, you see that pat of the feet. That's what we do at Athlete.
There you go. Well, they're going to punt the ball away here. Taz Lindsay back deep.
Let's see if we at least rush one. Need to get some pressure on this punter here.
They do seem to be playing it sort of safe. They're only rushing 3 or 4 guys. Lindsay is the deep man, and he's just going to let it hit. And they'll get great field position again at about the 45-yard line.
So far, we've seen the ball on the Aquinas side of the field all evening.
So as the teams change over here. Lincoln County on defense now, and Aquinas seeing if they can add to their lead. 7-0, Fighting Irish.
We need players like 34-day Sean Taylor here for Lincoln County to come up with a big play.
Yeah, one of these athletes and look at them. They got some athletes. One of them needs to step up here. Douglas going to carry it up the middle for about 2, maybe 3.
Look, anytime you can hold him to 2 yards, you're doing it good.
Yeah, he averages a little over 8 a carry. And here, guys, the opposition's insurgents starting lineup for Aquinas. One of the names to keep an eye on that line of scrimmage is, 2 names, Jeff Fox and Napoleon Williams on the left side. Of course, the quarterback is Gray Klasinski, and that man at the bottom, Brendan Douglas, the talented running back. Last year, a first-team All-State, and also he was a WJBF All-CSRA team member, one of the few underclassmen on the team a year ago. This time they hand it to Lindsey. Garnett was at quarterback. Lindsey with some speed.
Lindsey with some speed. Getting into the secondary. We've seen direct snaps to 3 different people tonight.
Yeah, we have. You're right. We've seen Klasinski, Douglas, and now that time it was Garnett. And look at the speed right here where he turns it up, and he's got Douglas out there lead blocking.
On number 34, Lambert.
I haven't seen that gear for Lindsey yet.
Taylor.
Wow. Taz Lindsey coming out party for the sophomore tonight. Not a big guy, but, man, he's making some plays. Reuben Garnett in there again. He fakes it to Lindsey, and he's going to keep it. And Garnett with a flag down on the play. Garnett's going to pick up some yardage up the middle. But we do have a flag down. So it's against Aquinas. So the Fighting Irish are backed up.
Anytime you coach a player.
Illegal shift again. This time on Aquinas.
Anytime you coach a player, like I've spent time with Douglas,
2-minute
you're going to want to coach him and critique him during the game, so I'm not going to be hard on him.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see him, as a lead blocker, just go in there and push the entire pile.
Yeah.
First thing you see, just push it. Let's get yardage.
Well, like you said, Lincoln County, I see some guys huffing and puffing over there already. And this is the time where they need to step it up. The momentum is all with Aquinas. Even though they had a penalty there, they've still got the ball in great field position. Now Lindsey he cuts it up. And, a big tackle, and that's Taylor. Boy, that kid is a player. What I love is that sideline-to-sideline speed. Watch 34 in white. Did you see his closing speed there? Fighting through blocks.
Hunting him down the entire way, gets his head across.
And I just love just throwing his body out there. You see him in the air, parallel to the ground, flying through the air. Deshaun Taylor.
I've been spending a lot of time listening to some YouTube stuff with Ray Lewis. Talk about a middle linebacker, a guy that's extremely inspirational and hunts the football. So now when you watch middle linebackers,
you think about that.
Taylor there, that's the instincts you want to have.
Here is Lindsey with Douglas again blocking. Lindsey going to pick up a couple of yards before he's brought down. Lockhart, the quarterback, actually made the tackle. Let's go down to the sidelines. I think Stephanie wants to – hold on a second. We'll hold up a second. She's going to give us some of the Lincoln County history here in just a moment. We'll check in with her after this next play. And she also, I'm hearing, has information on Ben Turner for us, too.
That'll be interesting to hear.
I can say it right now if you want. Hello.
So here we go. After this play, we'll check in with Steph. You got Douglas in a shotgun. Wildcat formation. Big play for Aquinas.
3rd down and 4.
And they're going to hand it off to Garnett. Garnett trying to get to the sidelines. Probably should have cut that up.
Probably should have cut it. It's going to be close. Looks like he's maybe going to get the first down. Let's see here.
I think they might have given it to him.
It looks like they gave him a generous spot on this play as he reached it out after his knee was
he's
already
saying
down.
He had it, but there's a flag down. Good work by our camera crew. They got the flag. Let's see what this call is. And there you see Chip Huffman, the referee.
Dead ball. Personal foul.
Personal foul on Lincoln County.
Half the distance to the goal.
That's going to be an automatic first down anyway.
Well, I'm not sure if it was a late hit or what, but it's a personal foul on Lincoln County, so automatic first down and great field position. Let's go ahead quickly and go down to Stephanie with an Augusta Auto Auction sideline report. Stephanie, what do you got for us?
Well, I just went over to the Lincoln County sideline, and I talked to the team doctor. Ben Turner's not out for an injury this week. They did change up a little bit at the beginning of this week. What I did get from them, I did not get a definite answer, but they said what they were saying was that It possibly would have been a better chance to have Lockhart in as quarterback this week, but we may see Ben Turner. One of the coaches said we may put him in the next go-around.
All right, thanks a lot, Stephanie. There you go. So Turner is okay, just they decided to go with Lockhart. And I got that impression as Douglas is tackled. I got that impression by one of the Lincoln County fans. He said, who's playing quarterback for Lincoln County tonight? And I looked up and I said, as far as I know, Ben Turner. And he kind of smiled. He goes, you might want to check. So he already knew that they had decided to go with Lockhart. And Lockhart had played a little bit this year, but the main starter had been Ben Turner.
And we'll see what Lockhart continues to do, first quarter, first start.
Well, and it's not like they're playing a slouch. Aquinas is 5-0 and, are 5-0 and ranked 4th in the state.
Exactly.
And they have dominated every opponent put in front of them, really. East Lawrence, Josie.
Got
last
Lindsay
week
in the pistol now.
Yeah,
toss left.
Oh, and a good
Great
cut by
move.
Garnett. Wow.
Did he get back? It looks like he may have another
Got a flag down. Watch this cut, though, as he made Taylor miss. Had Taylor on skates there for a moment.
Sticking both feet in the ground and sliding. It'll get you every time.
And it's going to be on Aquinas. So that'll back him up. But if you're Aquinas, you're happy. The clock is on your side as far as the half goes. You obviously don't like the penalties, but you got the ball in great field position. You're leading the game. Everything's kind of going the way you want it right now if you're Aquinas.
Aquinas has a good kicker, too, so it all comes down to it. I was seeing him hit from probably about 30 yards.
Well, last year we saw their kicker boot one from over 40 yards. Connor Tierney, he graduated. He's now on the roster at Georgia Southern. But this year's kicker's a sophomore, and he's a pretty good one as well. We've seen him on the kickoffs. We saw him in warm-ups. That's Justin Thompson. So there's Klaczynski in there. It looks like they're going to throw a pass, a little fade into the end zone, and the catch is made. And incomplete.
Came down just out of bounds.
Incomplete.
You can see, I think it was his left foot or right foot come down just out of bounds.
That's Shalom Alvarez. And watch this. A beautifully thrown ball by Klaczynski. And Alvarez, I thought he got it 1 foot in bounds, but no, you're right.
Right on
yeah,
the line.
Out of bounds.
Is it 1 foot in bounds in high school?
Yeah. But once that other foot had hit out, it didn't matter. Alvarez, by the way, keep an eye on him. He's a kid who transferred over from Grovetown. Pretty good basketball player. It's going to help out the basketball team. I heard this week for their star player on the basketball team, Ahmed Hill, you had Rick Barnes of Texas in town this week. I mean, you name it, they've all been in. He's got 28 Division I offers already, Ahmed
Brendan
Hill.
Douglas handed off right to Brendan Douglas and makes a move. Still standing on his feet, pushing the entire line.
Yeah, fighting his way.
And
here's what I like. One of his teammates is helping him up, Alvarez. On our forward instant replay, you'll see Douglas push the pile here.
See the footwork there.
Yeah.
Just to elude a tackler, pushes another one off, and then just decides to push the entire defense.
Yeah, when he decides he can't go anywhere else, he just tries to push them all back. So 4th down for Aquinas. And they're going to kick a field goal here. It'll be about a 29-yarder. So a 29-yard field goal from sophomore Justin Thompson.
Let's see if he makes my words true.
Now the kick is up, and the kick is good.
And good.
Well, there you go. Aquinas right now has surged out in front 10-0 after the field goal from Justin Thompson. They lead Lincoln County. We're late in the first half. Aquinas on top 10-0, and we're going to keep it right here. And you were right. Justin Thompson gets the field goal through. And, boy, for Aquinas, this has been exactly what you wanted in the first half. What are you saying right now if you're Larry Campbell to your troops on the sideline?
I think you're saying you need to get your emotions up and decide whether you want to win this ball game or not. Start executing. You may be thinking, do I need to go back with Turner at quarterback, or are we going to stay in the direction that we've started the game in? You know, he had another 10, 15 yards to back up on that play.
Yeah,
that was a great kick. And
it gives Aquinas a 10-point advantage here, as we're under 5 minutes to go in the first half. WJBF Game Night Live, you can catch the rebroadcast Sunday at 1 o'clock on WJBF News Channel 6. And if you want a copy, a DVD of the game, go to WJBF.com, keyword football.
Let's see if they kick the ball to Norman this time or if they're going to go back to Franklin. And let's see if we can catch the ball moving forward here. Oh, it looks like a pooch kick right.
Yeah, a little
ball down. It looks like Aquinas has got the ball back.
What a athletic play.
I believe Aquinas has the ball back.
Now they're saying Lincoln County got it. Boy, that was an athletic play by the Aquinas player that almost did get it, but Lincoln County apparently got the ball back.
I hope we have a replay on that.
That was recovered by Lincoln County. It'll be first down for the Red Devils.
That was very close.
Yeah, that was extremely close to being. Boy,
The
you talk about
Aquinas player
a
jumps over the
catastrophe.
top, and they got hands on. He got hands
That's
on
what
ball
I said.
too.
It was an athletic play, man. Unable to hold on to it. Here's McIntyre, who's been quiet. They faked it to him, actually. Oh, and a great tackle made.
And
That was actually Garnett who came up and made the tackle. And I believe that might have been Turner in there at quarterback.
it may have been Turner at quarterback.
Yeah, Ben Turner is in there now, number 18, the junior quarterback who was the starter. And he is back. He is in there now.
Well, like we said, what are some things you're thinking? If you're Larry Campbell, maybe it's to go back with your starting quarterback.
So Turner in there. He's got McIntyre with him. And Turner's going to throw it, and it's picked
Intercepted.
off. It is intercepted, and Aquinas is on the move with the ball. Number 23 gets the pick, Antonio Clark.
Listen, this is my first game out here at Aquinas' field.
Yeah.
And what an atmosphere.
Yeah, it's great. And I got to tell you, Matt Lazat, I can't say enough, and obviously Brendan Douglas has been a key. They have built a great fan base here. The fans absolutely on fire for this team. And Antonio Clark just stepped in front of the receiver and made a play.
I'll tell you what Lazat does a good job of. He's not a buddy to the guys.
Yeah.
He's a guy that the guys like. He'll be hard on them, but he also understands what it means to be a player. He's not that far removed as a player. He's a young guy.
He played at James Madison, was a quarterback on the college level, standout player at Westside in his day.
He really relates to the kids well and gets them to play hard for him.
Oh, and Klusinski
big
in
tackle
trouble.
off the edge there.
Yeah,
that
was
27,
Jalen Franklin coming in. Well, you need a big play if you're Lincoln County, and that's a pretty good one. The defense is going to have to step it up because right now the Lincoln County offense has gone nowhere. We didn't give you this earlier. Nathan Edwards, our statistician, in the first quarter, Lincoln County had 14 yards of offense to Aquinas' 50. That was in the first quarter. The penalties were the story. 7 combined penalties for the two teams in the first as well. And this time it's going to be Taz Lindsey. And another good play made by Taylor. Boy, this Taylor kid's fun to watch.
Taylor really hunts the football. Moves laterally well. You can see
watch him
here.
there from his middle linebacker spot on the left of your screen.
Goes unblocked. He's a guy in your game plan. You got to think, I need to get a lineman up to him each time.
Yeah, you're right. And they had a lineman in position, and I know that Taylor's fast, but you got to try and get a body on him somehow. Somebody told me one time, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Grab him.
Hey, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I might have said that once.
You might have.
In front of the nation.
All right, Aquinas with the football, and Lincoln County's defense trying to make a stand here on third down and about 12. And I'll tell you what Aquinas has done tonight.
Taylor on a big hit again.
Yeah, boy, he is talented. I'll tell you what Aquinas has done tonight. They're using Brendan Douglas as a blocker and a decoy for the most part. I mean, you think about it. This is a guy that's used to getting over 20 carries a night. He's well below that average, but he's done a good job lead blocking.
Yeah, Lindsey's been the one to watch tonight, number 4.
But you got to appreciate a great player like that that's used to getting the ball, that accepts his role, that I'm going to go out and block for these young guys. That is what it's going to take for us to win. That's what I'm going to do.
And you know what? At the next level, he's going to be probably put into a position where blocking is going to be what he does a lot. He's a bigger back.
Yeah, where do you see him next year? Some schools linebacker, some schools fullback. Some schools running the football. Where do you see him next year on the next level? Is it going to depend on where he goes to school?
He's obviously a perfect fit at running back for a Georgia Tech or, obviously a Georgia Southern.
Yeah.
But I've also talked to my old head coach, Tommy Spangler, who's at Louisiana Tech, and he said we would offer him at running back or at linebacker after I sent the film out to him. So we'll see if he gets a phone call from Louisiana Tech, and I'm sure there's going to be some Division I teams that see his capabilities and what they can teach him at the next level.
Well, and I tell you, if people see this film, they're going to want 34 in red too, because Deshaun Taylor's been outstanding on the other side of the ball. And right now, Nathan Edwards is telling me that Lincoln County has 21 yards of total offense in the first half. He's been coaching 41 years as Larry Campbell. I got a feeling he's never had 21 yards at halftime.
No, I think that's going to be a difficult one to swallow for him. 116 yards by Aquinas. It's really hurt them to be backed up into the end zone, though, too, which you saw most of the first quarter. Not a lot of options there. You don't want to make any mistakes and end up in the end zone.
So they are going to punt it away with Douglas and just try to pin Lincoln County back and continue to play good defense, it appears. Douglas trying to angle it to the sidelines, and it looks like he's done that. And
great job keeping it out of the end zone right there. And he does.
Oh, and he does. What a
right
play.
At the 1 yard line. And see, this is what I was talking about.
It's the quarterback, Greg Lazinski.
Greg Lazinski. A guy that you can ask to pretty much do anything. He's a very talented athlete for the high school level.
On our forward instant replay. So Brendan Douglas, while he doesn't have the big rushing numbers tonight, he's pinned 2 punts inside the 10-yard line now. And that's been a big part of the game. This field position has been a key for Aquinas.
Field position key. Turnovers. We've got 1 turnover from Lincoln County as well on the interception.
That looked like a future Douglas right there.
Well, there's a lot of them.
There are a lot of them. Lincoln County just trying to run the football and get out of the, near their end zone.
Looks like they'll start here from the 4-yard line on 2nd down.
That was McIntyre. McIntyre's been held in check. This is a kid that came in averaging over 100 yards a game.
I like McIntyre.
Yeah, he's a tough kid.
Yeah, big heart.
He's another one's a good baseball player.
Multi-sport athlete, which most of them are going to be at the high school level.
Yeah.
McIntyre, though, the guy that we've seen in at Athlete as well.
Hard-nosed kid, and Turner's going to keep it this time. He made the first guy miss, but he's not going to be able to pick up very many yards. Douglas and company get him and slow him down, stop his forward progress. And I believe we are going to have – looked like they were calling timeout of some kind. I know, just waving it down. I thought we had a timeout, but there is no – there we had a player with a helmet come off. That's what it was. When that helmet comes off, you got to get out of there for a play, and that's what's happening there. 54 is Napoleon Williams. He's a sophomore that a lot of colleges like already.
3rd and 4 here.
Big play for Lincoln County's offense.
See a young guy, his job tonight is to get the fans going.
Yep. Well, they've had a lot to cheer about so far tonight. And Lincoln County is going to talk things over here late in the first half, down 10-0 and backed up deep in their own territory. If you're Lincoln County, you just don't want to give up any more points. I mean, you'd accept going to the locker room 10-0 right now.
Absolutely. I mean, you're going to need to regroup at halftime. 3 minutes left to go in the game, or in the first half. If you can regroup at halftime and come back out.
Aquinas has 1 timeout left in this half. And the interesting thing about this is coming in the game, a lot of the talk was, again, about Brendan Douglas and the yards and the offense. And Lincoln County, this is a Lincoln County team that's averaging 33 points a game. It's not like this is a bad offense. But right now, Aquinas
you almost have to question going with another quarterback in a game like this.
Yeah, I mean,
a sophomore quarterback. I don't know if there was some sort of a punishment there.
I was going to say, I always joke, who am I to question these coaches? And in this case, it's Larry Campbell. But you're right. You go with Lockhart in a big game like this. For whatever reason, they decided to do it, and it has not worked out.
You don't win that many games without understanding that potentially, and again, I don't know what happened there, but if it was some sort of a disciplinary situation, then the team in Lincoln County comes before the player.
Well, Lincoln County is coming off a 49-6 win over Warren County. Now, that's a team they're supposed to beat one-sided in a one-sided game.
Let's see if Lincoln County can get a first down here. 3rd and 4.
Turner going to pitch it out.
Toss. They go with Mackey.
And
McIntyre. Looks like he's going to get the first down. And more.
He's going to get the first down easily, and that, if nothing else, is going to get the clock moving and maybe get you out of here down 10-0 instead of giving Aquinas the ball back. McIntyre, good hard runner, good athlete. And there's no doubt he's got a good future as well. He had 4 touchdowns a couple of weeks ago in a win over First Presbyterian. He ran for over 200 yards in that game and 4 touchdowns.
McIntyre, a junior, 11th grader.
Yeah, he's transferred over last year after a pretty solid freshman year at Harlem. And this time a good play made by the defensive end, Shalom Alvarez. And that's going to do it for the first half. And it's been all Aquinas, folks. The Fighting Irish trying to stay unbeaten and trying to break a long losing streak to Lincoln County. And right now they're in good position to do it. Matt Lazat's crew, as you see him running off the field, are up 10-0 on Lincoln County at halftime here, WJBF Game Night Live. It has been an outstanding performance by the folks from Aquinas. In just a moment, we're going to go down on the field.
They've got the home field advantage here for Aquinas.
I'm going to go ahead and warn you.
Going in their favor.
I'm going to warn you, it's not your television sets. That's his beard.
Okay.
Fear the beard.
Fear
Matt
the beard.
Lazat is with Stephanie French.
Hey, you come into this game, did you think that you were going to be up 10-0 at halftime, Coach Lazat?
We expect to win every game. We expect to win every game. And we're up now against a very good Lincoln County team. But it doesn't surprise me because the expectation is there for our guys to go out and play.
And, of course, the talk before the game was your running game, but your first score was passing. How do you feel about that?
Well, I like the fact that we can go out there and make plays. We got a lot of different weapons on offense, and I was proud of the way they capitalized.
And, of course, big game here. Do you think the crowd is having any factor in you guys' scoring right now?
You better believe it. Listen to them. Listen to them go. Listen to them go. It's crazy. It's crazy. Best student section in town.
All right, well, good luck to you in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Welcome to the U.S. Marine Corps halftime show. I'm Stephanie French down in the field with Sergeant Pearson, and we've got an outstanding student section here, definitely an outstanding teacher to honor today.
Yes, ma'am. Marine Corps is proud to present the Semper Fidelis Award to Mr. Koval for his tremendous amount of dedication, not only to his country, but to the students here at Aquinas High. Mr. Koval, he served 20-plus years in the Air Force, where he was a part of two historical events, Desert Storm and Desert Shield. He retired in the year 1995 and continued and started a new path in his life in teaching in 1996. We want to say we appreciate everything you do, and we wish you the best in everything.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
All right, and Mr. Culver, certainly an outstanding teacher here. I'm sure everybody loves you here. And you do have some assistant principal experience. Tell me about your history here, what your military background brought into the school.
Okay, I came here in 1996, a year after I retired, and just came here as a teacher, teaching computer science. The next year I started teaching math. Spent 5 years as a teacher and had an opportunity to go into administration. I think the military background helped a lot with that because it gave me the leadership experience and such necessary. But and after 5 years as the assistant principal, I realized that I really missed being in the classroom. That's where my heart is. I love my students. I love what I do. My wife says nobody should be this happy to go to work every day, but this is a blessing. This is such a wonderful gift to be a part of this faculty and a part of this school. We've got great kids and just a wonderful mission. I just love it here.
And, of course, your outstanding work doesn't just go in the classroom. You're also involved with Fort Gordon as well. Tell me a little bit about what you do out there as well.
I serve as a deacon at Good Shepherd Chapel at the Catholic Chapel at Fort Gordon and assist with the liturgy, teach at Fort Gordon at several of the classes and such there, and assist as part of the clergy at Fort Gordon.
All right, well, certainly some outstanding work from you. You're definitely a great teacher, and one person that can go with that is the principal, Chris Paul, amazing
Campus Minister
teacher.
Michael Lammers.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem at all. Deacon Culver has been such a blessing. The 3 years I've been here, it's just so good. All the things he's done, the different areas he's been for this whole school with math and computers and now religion and administration, all the different areas. And I think that the best thing that I love about Deacon Culver is he's always doing something new and trying to find new innovative ways to get the message across. And right now in religion, it really is a blessing for me as campus minister, just to see the new ways that his passion for Christ, that he wants to share that with all the students, and they all see that and they all love that and rejoice in who he is. And just becoming a deacon is even an extra blessing for us here at Aquinas, because he can serve our school as a minister here, and it's such a blessing. So.
All right, well, certainly a great teacher for you. I'm sure everybody here does respect his work.
Oh, definitely.
All right, we are going to take it over to the Aquinas Band right now for you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and students. On behalf of the Lincoln County Board of Education, Dr. Jeff Carney, Superintendent, Dr. Howard Gumby, and his Pam Carmichael Principal, we proudly present the Lincoln County Red Pride Marching Band under the direction of Mr. Jasper Dukes. The color guard is sponsored by Corliss Parks. The band is led in field command by drum majors Jamarian Hurst and Thomas Folger, and band captain Kendriana Wynn. Tonight's performance will feature music by the legendary trumpeter Chuck Mangione. will open with the playing of Mangioni's Opener, followed by Land of Make Believe, featuring a duet by trumpeter Daisha Bussey and Thomas Folger on alto saxophone. We will close tonight's performance with the playing of Ichano and our school's fight song.
Okay.
Drum major, is your band ready? Let the show begin. on trumpet and Thomas Folger on alto saxophone.
Hi, this is the U.S. Marine Corps Halftime Show. I'm Stephanie French. I'm down here with Michael Lammers. I apologize about the Semper Fidelis award name.
Not a problem at all.
Some great things going on here at Aquinas High School. You're part of the administration team, so you get to oversee everybody. Definitely a close-knit community. Tell me about that.
Definitely. I know we joined the community at St. Mary on the Hill Church about 15 years ago, and just ever since then we just came right into the family, and the families that have been here all their lives, we just started getting into it, and great things have been happening since then, and being here at Aquinas is one of those things, and just being a part of that. I have 7 daughters myself, and my oldest is here now, and it's just such a blessing to be a part of this great Aquinas St. Mary's community.
And of course, we see a lot of younger administrators, teachers here, like Matt Lazat. What does their energy bring into the school?
Oh, it's so important, especially Matt and all of them. They just bring so much good passion and energy, and just you can see that in the last few years, the amazing things that have been happening at this school, and sports is one of them, and just so many great things coming here.
And of course, another great thing going on pretty soon is an auction. What's that about?
The Aquinas auction, and it's just it's where we're raising funds for our school, and we invite everybody to come. It's such a great time, and you get to meet a lot of the people in the community and just celebrate what we are here at Aquinas, and founded on Christ, and just a great academic program, and then sports is beautiful. So if you like tickets, all you have to do is come to the office and you get them there. So.
All right, well, certainly a great drum line behind us here. Let's take a listen to see what they're doing over here.
That's another awesome thing we have, so it's a blessing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, God bless you.
Welcome back to WJBF Game Night Live. I have Coach Larry Campbell here. You guys go into halftime down 10-0 to a really good Aquinas team. What do you tell your team at halftime to get them motivated for the second half?
Well, if we hunt excuses, we're starting 8 sophomores, 4 on each side of the line, and our quarterback we started with was a sophomore. We're that young, and we've had 2 serious injuries to 2 of our junior offensive linemen, an ACL in the last month or so, and then we got a broken ankle last week, so we scuffling. I don't mean to take anything away from Aquinas. We don't have a first down. We ain't come across the 50-yard line yet. So we got to try to get field position, try to get our offense a shot and score. We can come back.
All right, definitely big question tonight is Ben Turner. You guys made a couple changes earlier on in the week. Definitely not an injury. What's going on with Ben Turner?
Nothing going on with Ben. We just tried a sophomore quarterback. Thought we might get a little bit more running and better than tied Evan. Ben's made a few mistakes, and one of those things we decided to bench him and see if it helped him. So we'll see in the second half.
All right, good luck to you, Coach. Ryan and Navy, back up to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Steph. And, Larry Campbell kind of said it like we were talking about, the team struggling.
Yeah, Stephanie goes with a difficult question there to Larry Campbell at the end. Not many people probably do that, the fear and the wrath of Larry Campbell. But I'll tell you what, he's a coach that doesn't give excuses either. He just gave you the reasons as to why they've struggled. It doesn't take anything away from Aquinas. We've got a great football team in green here.
Well, I tell you, Ryan, we're about set for the start of this second half, and this Aquinas team's off to a great start. But like we said, like Larry Campbell did say, just in all fairness, they are starting a whole new offensive line and pretty much a whole new defensive line and young players. But as he said, let's don't take anything away from Aquinas either, because they're a young football team. They've got a lot of sophomores, and they replaced 4 of their 5 starters off their offensive line from a year ago also. But in Larry Campbell's case, he had a couple of kids hurt. It's a tough situation. And right now, the key has been field position. Lincoln County's averaging getting the ball at the 15-yard line, and 3 times they've started inside the 10 or inside. And you were saying that puts you in a pretty tough spot.
I mean, that's I think that's the biggest condition of what we're seeing in this game here is where you're starting from. 3 times that Brendan Douglas has punted, it's been inside of the 10-yard line.
Yeah.
What could the kid not do, right? But then the other 3 times, it was at the 27 or 25-yard line. Those were on kickoffs. So, I mean, that's a big part of the game, field position. Turnovers, they've got 1 turnover right now with the interception when Turner came back into the game. So we'll see what Lincoln County's able to get anything going here in the second half.
Well, this is our look back at the first half, brought to you by the Eye Guys from Eye Physicians and Surgeons of Augusta. And the key, as we're about to start the second half, the key has been field position and time of possession. Aquinas, as the Lincoln County Red Devils kick it off to Aquinas. We'll get to the stats in a moment. Here's Taz Lindsay on the return, and Lindsay brought down by Franklin. The key, field position. Lincoln County average getting the ball at the 15-yard line. In 4 of the 5 Aquinas possessions, they got the ball on Lincoln County side of the field. Also, time of possession. Aquinas had it for 15:08 of the first half. Lincoln County just 8:52, and that's why right now Aquinas is up 10-0. Total yardage, 116 for Aquinas, 78 on the ground, 38 through the air. And for Lincoln County, 38 yards total offense. And as Larry Campbell said, the offense has not had the ball past the 50-yard line. Has that ever happened to Lincoln County in his 41 years there?
Who knows? It hasn't happened very often if it has. Here you see Brendan Douglas fighting for extra yards off the right side.
As we bring you back to second half action, Ashley Brown along with Ryan Bowers, my partner in the booth tonight. Nathan Edwards handling stats for us. We appreciate his hard work. And, of course, Stephanie French on the sidelines and the entire WJBF crew bringing you the sights and sounds of this fantastic matchup tonight.
Great first half for Taz Lindsay, number 4. You see him spreading out there to the right. We talked about this in the first half. 3 different players getting the ball snapped to them. Here we've got our quarterback under center again.
Well, here's Klaczynski, and he hands it to Douglas, who just runs over a couple of defenders. Great run by Brendan Douglas.
We didn't see a lot of that style of run in the first half where he's driving the knee high, leaning forward, and just deciding to muscle through guys. Look at this. We saw him defensively make some aggressive hits, but let's see if he doesn't get more involved in the run game. Obviously Lindsay had a great first half. So.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. Lindsay and Garnett, they really split it up. And that's what got Coach Lazat. I thought he was kind of blowing a little smoke to me today. He said, we got so many backs, it's hard to get the ball to everybody, especially when you got one guy that's going to get it so much. And I thought, well, we're going to see Douglas 30 times tonight. But they've really spread it out. Now let's see with a lead if we start seeing a healthy dose of Brendan Douglas. Right now he's the lead blocker for Garnett, and Jalen Franklin comes in and makes the final hit to stop the ball carrier.
Well, you're seeing some great coaching here on the Aquinas side of the football, spreading it out, understanding when the box is loaded, throwing some screen passes, round in runs, and then whenever they decide to spread it out, take it up the middle. Good tackle there by 27 Franklin.
Yeah, Franklin's played a good game tonight. He and Deshaun Taylor have been a couple of the bright spots for Lincoln County tonight in a tough performance. And again, Lincoln County going through this is a rebuilding year and kind of a young team, but they're still ranked 5th in the state, and they are at 4-1. Their only loss coming to Washington Wilkes. Klaczynski hands it to Douglas, trying to get to the outside. He makes a man miss. Brendan Douglas still on his feet, right at the chains for almost got the first down. It's going to be close.
Looks like it is a first down based on where the spot's been placed.
And we do have a flag down, according to our statistician Nathan Edwards, and sees the flag. There it is. So let's see what Chip Hubbin has as a call, and we're going to have a hold on Aquinas. That's going to back it up and negate the nice run by Douglas.
Another stat, I don't know if you mentioned this, and maybe I just missed it, but the first 4 times Lincoln County had the ball, they went 3 and out.
Wow, that again, these are some numbers that you're just not hearing. And this is a team that was averaging over 30 points a game. They had 49 last week. They've scored 40 a couple of times, and for whatever reason, they are struggling. And credit Aquinas, credit the field position. And again, also you got to look at that young line of Lincoln County kids who aren't used to being in the, in this kind of a battle on the varsity level. Klaczynski's going to throw a screen pass. It is caught by Lindsay. Great coverage by Franklin.
Looks like 47 missed his block there, and Franklin read it early. Saw the screen coming, made the play. And that's some of the things that you're trying to make adjustments at halftime. That's probably one of them. Last time Lindsey got that screen, he went for a touchdown.
Well, and the man who made the block for him was Lambert. This time around on Franklin's side of the field, though, it doesn't work out. I will say you were talking about Lindsey in the solid first half. He carried the ball 5 times for 32 yards. He also had 2 catches for 34 yards, including the touchdown. Brendan Douglas just 9 attempts for 35 yards. So they sort of held him in check.
They managed him.
He was a blocker. Yeah, he was a blocker for the most part. Now he's going to run it. He's got some room on the right side. Cuts it up. Same play we saw earlier, still on his feet.
That's what we're looking at.
Defenders. Boy, Brendan Douglas with a terrific run.
That's what we're wanting to look at tonight out of Brendan Douglas versus this, excellent tradition of a school in Lincoln County. It's the drag, guys. Watch the jersey get pulled. Yes.
They need the old Herschel Walker
We're going on a sleigh ride right here. How about that? That's a workhorse right there in Brendan Douglas.
And that's the kind of run that gets the crowd into it, but it also gets him pumped up.
We pulled sleds and it looked the same.
There you go. You saw him a lot this offseason.
Pushing and pulling those sleds. I've got his brother, John Douglas, out here right in front of us here in the booth tonight, clapping and cheering his brother on.
Yeah, John was an outstanding player at Georgia Southern. Signed at Auburn and played there for a year, then transferred to Georgia Southern and actually moved from fullback to defensive line. Oh, and this pass is intercepted. That's Jalen Franklin. He's got some running room. This could be the big play Lincoln County needed. Franklin makes a man miss. He's got one more to go, and that's going to be a tackle. That was number 24, I believe, on the tackle for Aquinas.
Oh, no, if you're Aquinas, and oh, yes, if you're Lincoln County. Great interception. Makes a couple guys miss.
They did.
And now we are on Lincoln County's side of the field. You'll see here on the interception.
Yeah, the ball just underthrown by Klosinski there.
Makes one guy miss. A great block there to finish it off. Good cutback.
Yeah, made Brendan Douglas miss, but then it was Morris who made the tackle. John Morris, a junior.
Down to the 25-yard line, 24-yard line.
Well, Franklin has really stepped up tonight and played an outstanding game. He and Taylor on defense. We got another flag down, though. In the first half, both teams were penalized 6 times, 12 penalties in the first half.
Still first down.
Flag again on the Red Devils, so this is going to back them up.
If you're Lincoln County, though, you're just happy to have the ball on. You're able to look to your left from where they're sitting for a change because, for the most part, they've had to look on the other side of the field. 8:12 to go. There you see the scoreboard here at Aquinas where the Fighting Irish are up 10-0, but they're facing their first bit of adversity in this game. Let's see how they handle it.
Well, it's an emotional game. We've talked about this a lot, and Aquinas has had the emotional edge the entire game. We'll see if Lincoln County does get something going here.
Yeah, great look at the crowd from Aquinas. And now going to run it here is Turner, and we got another flag down, and that's in the area of holding. Oh, and at the end of the play, Shalom Alvarez kept going, and the official throws a flag on that.
Those are the mistakes you just can't have in this situation.
No, you played such a great game, and now you've got a little bit of adversity, and now we see a penalty. Let's see what the first flag is. I believe the first one's going to be a hold. The second one, no doubt, is going to be a late hit, personal foul.
We got 2 fouls. Illegal formation.
No, it's a false start on Lincoln County.
We got a dead ball, personal foul on the defense.
And a personal foul. Well, the false start should have blown the play dead, though, right?
That's a good point.
The receiver was off the line, so it does not. Okay, that's what we're being told. Nathan Edwards. He's our statistician / referee in the booth.
Referee in the booth.
Shalom Alvarez with a mistake there. You just can't make it. I understand you're playing, and whether he heard the whistle, who knows. But right there in front of the official's got to throw the flag. The Aquinas fans didn't like it, but it was definitely the ball carrier was thrown down after the whistle had blown. Now the ball carrier's, what do you do in that spot, Ryan? As a defensive player, the ball carrier's still trying to run. The whistle's blown. You got a hold of him, but he's still going. That's a tough spot.
You got to let him go, but hey, then again, you're a defensive player. You're an aggressive guy.
Ryan's saying you got to let him go. I don't see you doing that.
No, I'm saying you got to let him go, not me.
There you go. Lincoln County with the football, and they got it deep in Irish territory after the interception by Jalen Franklin. Ben Turner in there at quarterback trying to rally the troops in a terrific single-A matchup. You've got so many different storylines. Lincoln County, the 14 state titles, the 700 victories. Aquinas, their first 9-win season in school history last year, the first playoff win in school history last year.
We mentioned a lot about the offense in the first half for Aquinas, but the defense was huge in the first half, and we're going to see if they can hold them out here once again. And I'm not sure what kind of a place kicker Lincoln County has.
Well, he doubles as
They're
the
hoping
punter.
not to see him on the field here shortly.
Yeah, he doubles as the punter, Ashmore.
Here we
And
see
there's
Mikey
up the
McIntyre.
middle, and and he runs over the safety man.
Big
for a touchdown.
play, Mikey McIntyre. Big heart player, makes a big play for the touchdown.
And watching the end of this play as he absolutely trucks one of the Aquinas defensive backs into the end zone. Talk about the Augusta Payne Center hit of the game. That may have been it.
And
Mikey
Brendan
McIntyre.
Douglas and Mikey McIntyre. Mikey a little bit smaller of a guy, but still, a very physical player.
Well, you can just tell there's a different, a little giddy up in their step a little bit with that interception. You saw McIntyre. That's the hardest I've seen him run all night.
Absolutely. Similar styles in those two, though. Lowering his shoulder and running over the defender into the end zone.
Well, the score is 10-7 Aquinas after the Mikey McIntyre touchdown run for Lincoln County. We'll be back. Third quarter action continues in just a moment. WJBF Game Night Live right back at you in a moment. And welcome back to Aquinas High School, where Lincoln County has got on the board with a touchdown run from Mikey McIntyre, and they now lead it Aquinas leads it by a score of 10-7. Also, real quick, wanted to mention to you, we've got a big winner for NASCAR tickets to the Charlotte race, the Bank of America 500 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And the big winners are Joy Smith of Augusta and Jane Fink of Evans. Each have won a pair of tickets to this Saturday's race. Congratulations again, Joy Smith of Augusta, Jane Fink of Evans, going to the Bank of America 500 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, courtesy of WJBF.
Antonio Clark on the return. He takes his time and just kind of dances and waits for something to open, and nothing really does. So Aquinas will have the ball on the, looks like the 26-yard line.
Well,
now,
for
field
Aquinas,
position was huge in the
and
first
for
half.
Aquinas, this is the worst field position they've had. Only the second time they've been on this side of the field.
27-yard line, check that. In the pistol formation.
And Klaczynski in there, going to throw it again. This
got
time
the screen.
The little screen pass to Lindsey.
Possible first down.
Well, and that's a smart by former quarterback Matt Lazat. Get your quarterback a comfortable pass after that interception.
Yeah, let him throw the ball again. As a quarterback himself, he understands that.
Yeah. And if you're going to take a shot anywhere, 2nd and 1's the time to do it.
2nd and 1.
And let's see, they've got Klaczynski in there with Douglas with him. 3 wide receivers to the near side. Big Ben left. Actually, one of the receivers is coming off the field. Looks like an injury for Lindsey. Bobble snap.
He gets on it. Gosh, he's going to lose about 8 or 9 yards on that play.
And if you're Greg Klaczynski, you got to be thinking you got to get this together. On the replay, we couldn't see if it was a high snap. It looked like it was in his hands.
This is exactly how the emotions of the game, which are it's such an effective part of football in itself. This is how the emotions start to begin to shift. You can hear the crowds begin to die down over here on this side. Guys got a little bit more of a pop in their step there on Lincoln County's side of the ball.
And I got a text message from a Lincoln County fan at halftime, and he was naming all the sophomore starters and injuries. He said if Aquinas is ever going to beat us, they better do it right now. So maybe Aquinas is feeling that a little bit too, as with a little bit of struggles here.
We go back to Old Faithful there with number 44, Brendan Douglas, running the football at the middle.
Yeah, Brendan Douglas running it. Red Devils certainly keying in on 44, and how do you blame them? Last year over 1,700 yards. This year already over 800 yards now, counting tonight's action. There are the Red Devils. They brought a big crowd. They were tailgating at 5 o'clock this afternoon here at Aquinas.
They always bring a crowd, don't they?
They sure do. Love their team.
Mr. Goolsby brings the food over, and
they got one of the best websites for a high school program around. Thompson's got a good one. Valdosta, a lot of school. McEachern.
Looks like,
and that ball might have been
Brendan
tipped.
was possibly hit on that play.
And the return
man, player right there in front of him thinks he's not going to run the ball, and misses the tackle.
Norman's been quiet all night. He's a guy I thought might be a key, but they kicked it away from him. That time he's able to get loose a little bit. I thought that punt might have been tipped, or like you said, maybe Douglas was hit, but let's see, there is a flag down. Boy, that's going to make the Lincoln County fans erupt.
Illegal formation.
But no, it's going to be a false start.
On the offense, that penalty is declined.
Lincoln County will decline it. And they've got the ball for the second time in great field position.
44-yard line. Lincoln County has the ball on the Lincoln County 44.
It is so crazy how the momentum switches in a game. And it doesn't matter the sport. I mean, it's just amazing to me how the momentum shifts. And one team was down and out, and now all of a sudden
Lincoln County comes back on this drive and gets another touchdown. Man,
they got a little swagger about them right now.
That's going to be tough.
Turner going to hand it. No, he fakes it to McIntyre. Turner's going to keep it. He's finally brought down, but not before he picks up nice yardage right up the middle.
Good read. And those are the things that you get out of an experienced quarterback, you know. And I don't think we're going to see. I don't think we're going to see number 5 back in the game here for Lincoln County.
Yeah, and one of the reasons I think they went to Lockhart is I don't think there's any issue. I just think it was Turner was making some turnovers and mistakes they weren't happy with. Well, and he did have an interception, but he's the guy in there right now leading the way. Makes a bullet pass this time to Letman. Zyricus Letman on the catch, and Lincoln County has stolen the momentum, Ryan.
When you see a tall number 8, it reminds me of,
A.J. Green.
A.J. Green, and then USC's Michael Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Johnson years ago. Was it Michael Johnson?
No, it was, oh, gosh. Keyshawn Johnson. There you go, Keyshawn
Johnson. Well,
he was actually 3, I think. There we go. Another run for Turner right up the middle. Shalom Alvarez looks like he was banged up a little bit on the play.
The kid I was talking about was number 8. He was a freshman. He came out his freshman year.
I know you're talking about the tall 6'5" receiver, about 230. It's Michael something. I can't remember his name.
Went to the Detroit Lions. Michael Williams. There you go. Mike Williams. They're spread out. 3 to the left, 1 to the right.
Lincoln County on the move. Turner throws it. It's got a man, but it's dropped.
Broken up by Lindsey there. They've gone to him, was it 3 straight times?
Trying to go to Zyricus Letman again.
I tell you, if Letman takes that ball, he's got a chance to make one guy miss for a touchdown.
Well, I will say this. Turner's not a big kid. He's not your prototypical quarterback, but, man, he's got a lot of zip on the football.
Absolutely. And one of the things Coach Campbell said in doing that switch at the quarterback position was maybe to fire him up a little bit.
Well, they got him in there now with McIntyre behind him. They fake it to McIntyre. They're going to throw it again, and they found a matchup they like with Zyricus Letman.
That is the 4th time in a row they've thrown the ball there.
More flags down. Boy, Lincoln County shooting themselves in the foot if this is on them because that was a nice throw and catch.
Looks like it is on them.
Yeah, you could see from Turner's reaction. While they mark the penalty off, we're going to go down to the sideline. Stephanie French has a little bit of the history of Lincoln County and some of the talented players that have played here.
Players for this team. You look back at the history, the NFL players that have come out of Lincoln County. It goes back to 1986 to 95. Barney Bussey, Charles Glaze was there in 1987. Garrison Hurst, 1993-2004. And Jarius Wynn is the latest Lincoln County Red Devil to go into the NFL. He is actually playing with the Green Bay Packers right now. He went there in 2009.
All right, thanks a lot, Steph. And as we come back, Brendan Douglas makes a big play.
You see a fired-up Brendan Douglas there. He reads the screen well.
He sniffed that one out.
Reads the screen well. Big hit on Mikey McIntyre.
And we see on the Ford instant replay as Douglas was right there. You heard Stephanie talking about the NFL, guys who made it to the NFL from Lincoln County. Garrison Hurst, I was actually at the state championship game his senior year. They beat Bowden 22-0. Garrison had a touchdown run, a kick return, and an interception return. He scored all 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns, 3 ways. They're going back to that matchup.
And it's tipped and almost intercepted. Douglas was the man on the coverage that time. So the defense is bending, but maybe not breaking on this one.
Really a big series there for Aquinas, not letting them get
big stop that time.
Big stop. There you see the fans of Aquinas, the Irish.
Boy, the crowd has been into this game from start to right now. I mean, they haven't let up on both sides. What a game. 10-7, 3:33 to go, third quarter. WJBF Game Night Live, and we got ourselves a barn burner. Here's Klazinski. He's had a couple of miscues recently. Hands it to his big guy Douglas. And boy,
still moving the pile.
Wow.
That's exactly what we need to see out of it. That's what college coaches are going to be looking for against Lincoln Counties. Can you move
his dad is right in front of us, and he's got to be smiling from ear to ear on those kind of plays where his son's just carrying the defenders.
Look at that. When the pile moves forward, I mean, that's what you want.
Yeah.
Can I get a good 2 or 3 yard push out of a big back once contact is made?
And Brendan Douglas has done something he has not done in 2 years. He has fumbled the football. Norman's picked it up. Let's see whether it was down or it's a touchdown. Matt Lazat said he has not fumbled since he fumbled twice against Lincoln County 2 years ago.
Wow.
But this looks like it's a touchdown for Lincoln County.
Looks like the touchdown's going to hold. And there's 26 Norman. You said you were going to look for him to make a big play tonight, and there's one.
Thought it would be on special teams, but here it's on defense. And think about the Lincoln County defense, the interception that set up the first score, fumble return for the score here, and now all of a sudden they're on top.
Yep.
Wow, what a turnaround for this Aquinas bunch. Here's where you test the mettle of a team, though. The kick is up, and it is good.
have shifted.
Actually, it is no good. So we're going to take a timeout here. With the score 13-10, Lincoln County on top of Aquinas. We'll be back with more WJBF Game Night Live in just a moment. And welcome back to Aquinas High School, where the momentum has shifted firmly in favor of Lincoln County. They lead it 13-10 after the fumble return from Norman, and they lead it by 3. The extra point was no good. And now, if you're Aquinas, how do you get back to what led you to such success in the first half, Ryan?
Well, you got to stay with your key. I mean, your original game plan and your keys here, and that is to get the ball in several people's hands and continue to play a great defensive game. We got a penalty on the
Yeah, it's going to be
play.
a face mask, I believe. Oh, we got more flags. Now we got a little jawing going on. It's going to be a face mask and on the return.
Aquinas better hope that is not on them, that personal foul.
I think it's going to be a face mask on the return man. It was on the defender who grabbed Lindsey.
That extra point missed by Lincoln County is something that could come back
could
to
be
bite
big.
because we got a good kicker. We've
face
seen out of
mask
Aquinas.
here.
We've got a good kicker.
They offset. Free kick.
Offsetting penalties. Yeah, you're right. Thompson's
kick.
a very good kicker, and that could come back to hurt Lincoln County. But it was Jamar Norman, who is only a sophomore.
So it looks like the second set of flags was a personal foul on Aquinas because face mask would have been a personal foul on Lincoln County. Those penalties are offset, like you said.
Well, yeah, it was offsetting penalties.
You need little things like that as well.
They're gonna kick it over. They're gonna kick it over. So Aquinas down 13-10. They're about to get the ball back here. Third quarter action. WJBF Game Night Live. Jamar Norman with the fumble recovery and return for the touchdown. And it was Brendan Douglas who coughed it up. It was in traffic. We didn't get a good look at it. Not sure how the ball came loose or who jarred it loose. All of a sudden, we saw Norman streaking down the field with it.
You got Garnett and Lindsey both back now, deep.
Yeah, the two talented 10th
Double
graders.
threats.
And now, putting the ball on the tee, set to kick it off for Lincoln County is James Spratlin, the other kicker on this Lincoln County team.
Shallow kick off the right side, or off the left side, rather.
And it is picked up by Garnett. Garnett with a little head of steam, makes a man miss. Boy, he is shifty. And Garnett with a nice return across the 30.
About a 30-yard return for about 6 yards, 6-7 yards. But he made something out of nothing there. Nothing on the right side for him. And more cloth on the field.
Getting a little chippy out there between the two teams. And I think maybe the officials are going to try to take control because you're seeing a lot of pushing and shoving after the play. And it's going to be
Man, you saw a lot of that in those NFL games with the replacement refs, didn't you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, players were getting away with what they could, you know.
If my father's listening, he's going to be getting on to me because he got so tired of people talking about the replacement.
Well, this is one of the best crews in the state. There's no question. And we've seen a lot of penalties tonight, but you know the teams are in an emotional game. The teams
you can't let things like that go. You got to throw the flag.
Making mistakes. So Aquinas needs an answer for what has been an amazing turnaround and turn of events, really, by Lincoln County. 2 big defensive plays.
Got an overloaded right side here out of the pistol formation.
They go right back.
Run off the right side. Big run.
Brendan Douglas still on his feet. He's going to cross midfield or right at midfield.
He just drugged 2 or 3 players down the field at a time.
He's one of the few guys I've seen. When people grab running backs,
he accelerates.
But watch this guy. Somebody grabbed him low around his legs, and he
2, 3, and he drags him for another 5 yards.
But you know what I mean? When a guy's running and somebody grabs him high, they can carry him. Somebody grabbed him below his waist and had him wrapped up, and he still breaks free. So great run by Douglas, and maybe getting a little momentum back for Aquinas here.
And I can tell you, as a former defensive back, it hurts to say former. I tell you, it does. But you know, tackling guys with big, thick legs like Brendan Douglas has is difficult.
Yeah, Douglas.
Look at the move right there, in and out.
He had no real line to run through, but he makes a play. But boy, Taylor at the end of the play.
What'll fire you up is the motivation that a player has once they've made a fumble to come back. You see that shifty move right there?
Watch the hit at the end of the play. Woo!
Big hit by Taylor.
Deshaun Taylor.
Taylor's got a nose for the football.
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
He's been outstanding. Franklin's played well, and of course Norman picked up the fumble a moment ago. It's been the defense for Lincoln County that's got him back in it.
Just look at the athletes there you see in Franklin, 24, 8. I mean, they've got some great athletes in Lincoln County.
There's no
tall,
question.
lanky, fast players.
Here's Douglas holding on to that
Douglas.
football.
Jumps over a guy for another 2 yards.
He's been watching some YouTube videos. Sam McGuffey.
Sam McGuffey.
There you go.
Sam McGuffey ended up back in Texas, didn't he?
Yeah, back at Rice. Ended up at Rice. Yep.
Look at that.
He was jumping and spinning at the same time. It's a first down for Aquinas. Yeah, Sam McGuffey was a YouTube sensation, went to Michigan and ended up back at Rice. But there's one YouTube video of him not only hurdling defenders.
Looks like they're going to give Brendan a playoff here.
He said that's his toughest thing with Brendan. The only time he has to fuss at him is when he has to come out of the game for a moment. They hand it off to Garnett up the middle. Garnett is going to pick up a couple.
Not as big of a back, but he drags a couple guys for a few extra yards there.
But McGuffey, one of those best videos of his, he runs straight forward, and there's a guy standing still. It's not in a game, not the one where he looped the player, but a teammate of his is just standing still. He runs and does a forward flip over the top of him. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Yeah, you guys need to look that up. Sam McGuffey, old YouTube videos from.
There's a player that got the I think ESPY Play of the Year last year, wide receiver from Cincinnati that did that into the end zone. A receiver though, did a full flip over a guy into the end zone.
That's pretty amazing. So Klazinski going to hand it to Garnett. Garnett with a head of steam and a nice run.
Aquinas showing that they have more than one weapon in Douglas. Garnett, Lindsey, and Klazinski.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got some weapons.
You see Brendan Douglas there trying to catch his breath?
The biggest weapon. That's the end of the third quarter. With your score, Lincoln County 13. You see the clock winding down. Aquinas 10, but here's the thing. Aquinas is on the move. They've got a nice drive going. Let's see who takes the momentum going into the fourth quarter. But right now, again.
Potentially in field goal position already.
Absolutely. It is a three-point game. Lincoln County on top, 13-10. We'll be back with an exciting fourth quarter coming your way, I'm sure. It's WJBF Game Night Live. And welcome back, WJBF Game Night Live. Ashley Brown, Ryan Bowers, Nathan Edwards, Stephanie French, and the entire WJBF crew. And right now, I just got stats handed to me by Nathan Edwards, and I didn't realize Douglas had already piled up 136 yards on 19 carries, 7.2 yards a carry. Again, because he was sort of silent in the first half, but he's had two big runs in the second half to start piling on the yards. Let's see what Aquinas can do here in the fourth quarter.
1st and 10.
Blazinski's going to hand it to Douglas. You got him a good blow there. A couple of plays off to end the third quarter and then the quarter break as well, but he's tackled right at the line of scrimmage that time. In just a moment, we're going to check in with Stephanie French.
They really need to get a touchdown here. I mean,
yeah, it's a big possession here to get that momentum back. After this play, we'll check in with Stephanie. Lincoln County on top after two huge defensive plays as we start the fourth quarter. They did give Brendan Douglas a yard, so 2nd and 9 Klaczynski at quarterback with Douglas behind him. They give it to Douglas. Oh, and he said immediately.
In the backfield, and that is Taylor, number 34.
Well, that was just a blitz right up the middle, and nobody got him.
We've heard a lot about Taylor. Look at him. Bust right through the middle. Untouched.
Heck, hand him the football. He ran through that seam like a running back.
Absolutely. 5-yard loss.
And it's third down now, and it's going to be third and about 14. Or check that. Should be third. Yeah, third and
potentially taking him out of field goal range.
Well, it's third down and 15. They're in position. If you get about 8 or 9 or 10 yards, maybe you go for it, even if you don't go for a field goal. But let's see what they do here. They're going to roll Klaczynski out. Throws a screen, and it's dropped. He had a man. Morris couldn't hang on to it. That would have at least got him close to field goal range, or maybe close to. I tell
you, that's a frustrating play right there.
Tough.
Because you know what? On third down, you're throwing like maybe a 2 or 3 yard pass. You got to look downfield. You got to take a chance.
Well, one thing they're doing now, though, is they got Douglas out there for a punt. Now, he has pinned Lincoln County at the 10 or inside the 10 3 times already tonight.
I would have thought that their kicker had enough leg to put that through, potentially.
It would have been a 47-yarder. Douglas's punt. Let's see if they can stop it. They do. They stop it again, deep inside. Hold on a second. Did it go in? It did go in the end zone. So the ball bounced in the end zone and then came back.
That was Klaczynski again, trying to foot the ball.
So the Red Devils will get the ball back here. And, boy, a big, long drive here by Lincoln County could go a long way to putting this thing away. I mean, you figure we're at 11 minutes already.
Well, you got to think here, too. They punted from the 30. That's a 10-yard difference.
Lincoln County has 72 total yards, and they're leading this game.
Well, we've seen the big target get the ball thrown out to him several times on the last time they had
Zyricus Letman, real good-looking athlete.
I saw him, I think it was last year. We were out at Lincoln County for the game, the Thursday Night Live game, and I saw number 8 that time running around.
It was Letman against McCormick, They've got some athletes, there's no doubt about it. Jamar Norman really impressed me last year. I didn't even realize he was only a sophomore. He's the man who had the fumble return for the score. They give it to McIntyre up the middle. McIntyre stopped by Douglas.
Now he's stripping at the ball. Does he get it? Ball's out. Looks like forward momentum was stopped before able to get the ball out. And that's what you want to see, pulling and ripping at the ball.
Yeah, watch this. As Douglas stops and realizes he's got his momentum stopped, he goes for the football here. 44. Again, now watch him. Ripping that football away.
Yep.
On our forward instant replay. So, big third down play here. 3rd down and 1. And McIntyre is stuffed. I don't know if he got it.
Ripped the ball out. Doesn't appear that he.
And you can't take a chance this deep on 4th down. So if he didn't get it,
he did not get
the ball back.
He did not get it. We'll see 4th down.
Brandon Douglas and Jeff Fox on the tackle for the Irish.
So it is 4th down. You can't take a chance here, unfortunately. If you're Lincoln County, you can't try it.
No,
they're going to punt it away.
Of a risk.
So Ashmore will punt it away.
Not when you have the lead anyway,
Yeah, Lindsey is back deep at the 37, his own 37. There you see Lindsey. Boy, we got ourselves a great finish brewing here. Ashmore, plenty of time to get the kickoff.
Punt takes a
Lincoln County bounce.
It looked to me that it hit one of the players.
So it will be Aquinas ball at the 39-yard line. We'll take a quick timeout, and we'll come back with more WJBF Game Night Live with Lincoln County on top by 3, 13-10 here at Aquinas. Back in just a moment. We're back at Aquinas High School, and the Fighting Irish have the football back after Lincoln County was forced to punt. The ball at the 39, 1st and 10. Aquinas trailing 13-10 here.
Yep, we're on Lincoln County's 39-yard line. Got 2 receivers split left. Handoff once again to Brendan Douglas.
Yeah, he is stuffed, but look at him carrying the pile. Ends up getting a couple, maybe 3. Actually, he might even got 4 out of that.
He got 4 yards out of that.
You see initially he stopped right there, but breaks through and watch him kind of squirt through there and pick up 3 or 4 yards. Real quick, let's check in with Stephanie French. She's got more on this momentum swing. Steph?
Yeah, definitely a turn of events the last few drives for both of these teams. Sitting down here on the sideline with the Aquinas football team, the coaching staff is definitely telling them to keep their heads in the game. The last break, Coach Lazat, right in the middle of the huddle. Keep your heads in the game. Stay focused. There's still time left for you guys to come back.
All right, thanks, Steph. Dangerous pitch as we return.
Looks like it's going to be a loss on the play, too, about a yard loss.
They got it to Garnett, but he had nowhere to go with it. Lincoln County really snuffed that one out. And I know the conversation there. Brendan Douglas saying, I'm ready. Put me back in. He still look at him. He's looking up, ready.
Big third down. Big third down in the game without him on the field.
That's interesting. They don't have him out there for this play. Third down and about 6.
Pretty sure they'll be throwing on this play. Nope, handoff up the middle.
You know what?
First down.
Now, hey, excellent play call because, like you, everybody thought they were throwing, especially with Douglas out of the game. Credit Matt Lazat. He is using the success that Douglas has had to his advantage for sure.
Absolutely. And just showing that he's willing to use other weapons. Sometimes coaches will just use one guy over and over and over.
I know the folks in Lincoln County are probably tired of hearing Brendan Douglas, but he affects the game even when he's on the sidelines because I'm going to tell you right now, with him out, I was like you. I thought pass play. Here's
he
back
runs
in
left.
there.
And again, pushing the pile.
He's going to pick up about 4 again.
Playing both ways, playing special teams. I remember those days. Very difficult.
Yep. And folks, we keep talking about all these other great baseball players, Greg Klazinski and Mikey McIntyre. Brendan Douglas is one of the best in the CSRA there too. Big time power hitter.
Just a raw player at that sport, from what I hear.
Lincoln County, though, leads it. Oh, and a great play again. Oh, and Taylor couldn't hold on that time. Douglas able to fight his way back and maybe get a yard. Maybe 2. Boy, Deshaun Taylor, that's the second time in the last couple of series where he's come through unabated and almost made a big play there.
But that's one of the big things that, from what I'm hearing from coaches, they want to see out of a Brendan Douglas at running back is a little bit more of an elusive player as well.
Make that first guy miss.
And I'll be honest, I'm very proud of him tonight. Watching, I know the footwork that we worked on in the offseason and his coaches have worked on with him. And for him to come out here tonight and make some guys miss, not just run over people.
Well, the Lincoln County side wants to talk things over. They've called a timeout here. And throughout the game, of course, we have brought you a lot of different segments, and we've got so many great sponsors that help with the broadcast. I do want to recognize them. FPL Foods, also Athlete Sports Training Academy and Peak Rehabilitation Fitness, the United States Marine Corps, the Augusta Auto Auction, also Augusta Pain Center, our hits of the game. Eye Physicians and Surgeons of Augusta, they sponsor our starting lineups and a look back at the first half that we do at the beginning of the second half. And then also Ford and your local Ford dealers bringing you all the replays tonight. We thank them for their support of high school football in the CSR.
If you're watching, come visit us at Athlete Sports Training Academy. And if you get hurt, check out Peak Rehabilitation.
There you go.
You know, we're starting CrossFit training here pretty soon.
That's right. I've heard that. I've heard that you're doing that. Everybody's been watching. My son loves watching those CrossFit games.
CrossFit games, on ESPN.
Those guys and girls are just maniacs on that, man.
I've been doing that training myself here lately, and it's a competitive. You know, when you're out of sports now, it's a way to compete. That and golf.
That's
my two new adventures.
I would say growing beards, but I don't think I can catch Matt Lazat.
That's right. That's right.
You can only hope to contain that beard.
We got 3rd and 4 here.
Big play.
Pistol formation.
Looks like they're going to run it to the left, and that is what they're doing. But Douglas, again, he makes that first man miss, and he's able to pick up the first down, I believe.
It's going to be close.
Brendan Douglas, again, Lincoln County had a player fly through, and he made him miss. And it looks like they've got the first down based on the
first down.
spot.
I don't think there's a need to measure.
There's Douglas coming out for a blow again. They are going to measure it, but I'm going to tell you, he hasn't steered us wrong yet. Nathan Edwards says it's a first down, so we'll see. If you missed any portion of the game, you can catch the rebroadcast at 1 o'clock Sunday on WJBF News Channel 6, or you can purchase a DVD of the game at WJBF.com, keyword football. And it is a first down by the length of a football. Nathan Edwards said it was the length of a football.
Nathan Edwards, undefeated on the night.
That's right. Let's see what Aquinas can do.
I don't know if
here.
I can give this position back up to Matt Lane. I kind of enjoy being up here with you.
I don't know. Matt and Stephanie down there together? Oh, I don't know about that. Here you go. Reuben Garnett with a nice head of steam and a nice pickup for Garnett. Aquinas starting to get some of that momentum back.
This is the kind of ball game we've needed to see on a Thursday night. This is a great ball game. This is the reason that we do these Thursday night live games.
Absolutely.
Highlight teams just like this.
Well, and we highlighted this game at the very beginning. When we saw the schedule, everybody said, oh, wait a second, that's going to be a good one. We knew this would be a good contest. We didn't know both teams would be in the top 5 at that point, but that's where we sit. And here comes Douglas up the middle and just carrying the pile again. Happy to eat up yardage and eating up the clock, too. They're down, but they're moving the football.
Based on the way I saw the kick earlier, I mean, we're in field goal position now.
I got to give Larry
4:44 left on the game clock.
Yeah, I got to give Larry Campbell some credit because his team has done really nothing offensively. Now, they have come up with big defensive plays, but for him to have his team right now leading this game, it says something about the coaching staff. But here's Douglas along the left. And
fighting
again,
and spinning and turning.
Taylor was hanging on that time. Taylor has played a great game tonight. He's in double digits in tackles now.
6-yard gain.
Do you take a chance at something else like another screen pass at this point? Because they are beginning to load the box with you know, consecutive runs right up the middle.
And you got Douglas out of the game right now, who would be, well, let's see, because they do have Lambert out there, but they don't have.
This was the formation we saw last time, and Garnett ran the football.
Yeah, let's see, and that's what
looks like he's
going to
do it again.
Garnett was quick.
Oh, he
to
gets
try
around
to
the
get
outside. Nope.
Horse collar tackle, maybe. Let's see.
You know what? It would have been a horse collar. You can't call it that because he didn't go down.
Yeah, the fans wanted it, but no call by the officiating crew.
You're not going to get that unless the guy comes down backwards on his back.
Yeah. Let's see Garnett here on the play. You'll see as he gets to the right side.
Yep.
Well,
see how he spins around sideways? Yeah. It was definitely a horse collar. There's no doubt about it. But the rule is if he comes backwards.
Yeah.
Because then it affects the knees. It's not like the face mask penalty where you just graze it. It's a penalty.
So here's Klazinski.
Oh, man, bad snap, and he twists around and still hands the ball off.
Wow, he spun in the air as he caught the ball and handed it off to Douglas.
That's an athletic play.
Unfortunately, it doesn't set up a very good play, and now it's going to be fourth down at about 5.
You got to kick the field goal here. Got to kick the field goal here.
Fourth down and about 4.5.
Yep, we'll see a field goal.
And they're going to try to kick it.
He's already hit one from about...
The ball, I can't see where the ball is placed.
I believe 30 yards. The ball is on the 28-yard line.
So it'll be a 45-yarder. 45-yarder with plenty of leg. It is good.
It's good.
A 45-yarder.
I told you he's
by
got
the
a leg.
sophomore, Justin Thompson.
And if you saw, the referee had to look straight up. That ball had plenty of room going through.
They didn't kick one earlier from 47, and you said he's got the leg to do it.
If they had, and you know, that's one of the things that I think you go back and look at the game and you wish you had, because right now they'd be up potentially. And when they punted it ended up getting the ball. They were on the 30-yard line punting, and they got the ball in. Ball went into the end zone, and they got the ball on the 20-yard line. So you earned 10 yards on a play where you could have potentially got 3 points earlier.
Give Thompson a lot of credit. A 45-yard boot. He was filling some big shoes. Connor Tierney was the top kicker in the area last year, but Thompson, the young sophomore, steps up and boots it through from 45 yards.
Ashley Brown, we got a game.
Yeah, we do. 13-13. We are deadlocked here in the fourth quarter.
That missed extra point. Extra point come back to haunt you. Lincoln County.
So Thompson now lining up to kick it off.
All right, all of our returners are on the 20-yard line. They're going to pooch kick to the right side of the field. The ball will be returned. Tackled immediately at the 25-yard line.
By Reuben Garnett. That was Reuben Garnett who came through and made a heck of a
yard
play.
on the return. And the ball was going to be going out of bounds potentially on that play too. So not only does he not, and that would have, I want to say, let's ask our statistician, that would have been on the 35-yard line had that ball gone out of bounds. Now they're at the 25, 26-yard line.
So here we go. Lincoln County needs their offense to step up. The defense has done it a couple of times.
Let's see if the pass goes right or hand it off to McIntyre off to the right. He's got room.
I'll tell you, McIntyre's another one of those backs that's got deceptive speed. When he hits that, when he gets in the open space, he can really turn it on.
Got a 15-yard gain right there.
And let's see the replay here. McIntyre. Now watch him when he makes the cut. Watch him immediately get to full speed right there.
Yep. And what I love to see, I watch these guys play, is the pat of those feet.
Back to throw Turner. Man,
ball thrown deep.
Got a
wide open.
And it's caught. It could have been a touchdown if it was on the money, though.
Yep. And that's what you see out of the Lincoln County team. They're down 10-0 going into halftime. No quit in them.
Still very, very big play for Lincoln County. Their offense has not had a whole lot to speak of. And there, Turner with a big pass play to Letman, who's been their go-to guy. But like I said, if he had led Letman, that's a touchdown.
Absolutely. Turner keeping the ball up the middle.
I tell you what.
Sliding head first.
Turner saying, hey, this is my position. Don't be giving it away to anybody. Yeah, but
great read right there. He's reading the defensive end. The defensive end comes out on the running back. Mikey keeps it.
And he also got down to avoid a big hit there as a couple of Aquinas defenders, including Douglas, coming down hard on him, but he got out of the way of the big hit.
You don't see guys slide feet first in high school.
No. Turner going to hand it off to McIntyre up the middle this time, and he's going to pick up some short yardage.
Ball down close to the 15-yard line. Lincoln County's 15-yard line. Minute and 12 seconds you see here to go. Clock running down.
Now the question is, can one of the two place kickers, either Max Ashmore, who punts mainly, or James Spratlin, kick a field goal?
Cannot give up any further yardage here. Slant pass,
It's touchdown. It is a touchdown. Lincoln County, their first drive of the night of any type of success, and it gives them a touchdown and the lead.
Absolutely. Big play.
Heartbreaking for Aquinas, but you can't let it get to you. You've got 60 seconds, at least a minute, to try and come back and win this thing.
Tough for a running team. They're going to have to open up and throw here a little bit.
48 seconds to go. I said a minute, just under a minute to go. Spratlin is the place kicker, and he will try to kick an extra point to make it a 7-point game. So Spratlin on for the extra point. It is up. It is good. And Lincoln County, we don't know how, but they lead it 20-13. And credit Ben Turner. He was on the bench the entire game. The offense was not doing a whole lot. He stepped up and made some big throws, two big ones that time to Letman, including the touchdown.
Comes out rusty the first series, throws an interception, but it has been all downhill since then. He's been doing a great job.
Yep. So let's see what Aquinas can do here. 48 seconds left. They're not your normal
uphill, not downhill, right?
Uphill, yeah. Well, they're not your quick strike offense. That's the one problem. Let's see if they can have somebody make a play, and usually that guy would be Brendan Douglas.
It would be Brendan Douglas. We'll see if will they split Brendan Douglas out wide, throw the ball to him. I've seen that on his highlight film.
Well, they need something. 48 seconds left, and they are down 7. Lincoln County showing you why they have 36 region titles and 14 state titles and 700 wins.
I tell you, I'd like to see a screen pass, maybe on play 2 or 3. A screen pass to Douglas.
Yeah.
Back up, throw a screen to him, and let him run with the football. If you get the kid in open space, he's fast and he's explosive. He's not going down.
So here's the kick. Aquinas trying to answer. A huge, and the knee touch. That is a big, costly error for the sophomore.
Not what you want.
We'll take a quick timeout here. We'll come back with the final 45 seconds or so of this one with Lincoln County on top, 20-13 on an exciting WJBF Game Night Live. Here's Klaczynski. He's going to roll him out. Looking downfield. He's going to throw it down there.
Intercepted. Oh, man. Big drop. Would have been the game would have been over.
Jalen Franklin did not even try to catch it. He just batted it down. Not sure why. Not sure why he didn't try to catch that. Watch this play.
I think he did try to catch that. Let's see
it looks
here.
like he just batted it down. Watch. At the end of the play, watch Franklin come in.
He batted it down.
Not sure. And do you see his teammate going,
His
hey,
teammate's
what are you
going,
doing?
what the heck?
Not sure what he was thinking there. Franklin's played a great game. He had the big interception that turned the momentum. There's a short pass, and he's going to get out of bounds to stop the clock. That's Clark who caught it. Yeah, Franklin's interception is what turned the momentum of this game. His interception, and then you had the fumble return by Norman.
That would have been 2 interceptions on the night. He's going to be angry with himself. You don't get those
Ryan
all day.
Smiles when he says that as a former defensive back. 2 interceptions.
I've had a few multiple interception games.
There you go.
Enjoy those. They don't happen very often.
Aquinas desperately needs yardage, and they need it in a hurry. Plazinski's
Rolling
going to
out
roll
right.
out on third down. Got a man tipped and incomplete. He had 2 receivers right there together.
4th down and 6 yards to go.
Yeah, that's the problem sometimes when you're
28
trying to go
seconds.
88 yards. You forget you got to get 10 first.
You got to get first downs.
This is the ball game right here, 4th and 6.
And honestly, if they get tackled, timeouts left. We've got they got 3 timeouts left. It looks like.
Yeah, they got a couple of timeouts to go, but right
got to
now,
get a first
Lincoln,
down right here.
If you're Lincoln County, you got to love this. You got a young, banged-up offensive line. You're struggled offensively the entire game, and yet you might beat one of the top 5
Folks,
teams.
this is the ball
in the
game
state.
right here.
Yeah,
this is
absolutely. This is it. Plazinski back to throw. It is
Batted
batted
down,
and it is.
And that is
Franklin made the
on the play.
Maybe he knew he was going to bat another one down. And boy, barring some sort of Miracle in the Meadowlands type play, Lincoln County is going to steal one here as they come away with some big defensive plays in the second half. And boy, Aquinas that's why you can't let up. Just for a second, the momentum switch. And just like that, Aquinas is down, and now they're going to lose their first game of the year.
Speaking of the Meadowlands, I was up there with the New York Jets with
Yeah,
Lance
we
Taylor.
mentioned that. You were up there with your buddy Lance Taylor, former Alabama player, now an assistant with the Jets. What was going on up there?
Met Sanchez, met Tebow.
Yeah.
Had a brief moment with Tebow there in the weight room the day before the game. He's in there getting a workout in.
Yeah. Did you walk up and Tebow right in front of him?
No,
Okay.
one of my good friends certainly thought about it. It's funny. We walked up.
Encroachment on the
talk to
defense,
Bill.
5-yard
Bill
penalty,
is the,
still first down.
Is the strength coach there, and he was sitting down with a player, and it was Tebow. Walked up, and Tebow didn't recognize him from behind. He turned around, and look, I've been around a lot of players, the short time I had in the NFL, and then just playing elsewhere and meeting a lot of people, and then you get face to face with Tebow, and you just got to really admire the guy. And anyway, it looks like Lincoln County's going to pull this one out here, and
yeah, Turner's going to take a knee, and they're going to try to run the clock here.
A 20-point second half.
Well, and again, it was the defense. The interception by Franklin, the fumble return by Norman. You had a couple of defensive stops, and some Aquinas miscues. Greg Plazinski on the snap that he couldn't handle, and the interception, and of course Brendan Douglas. You hate it for the kid. He's had a phenomenal career. He's never going to forget this one.
Foul
his fumble was run back, of course, by Norman for the touchdown.
Sometimes those are the plays you never forget that continue to motivate
That's
you.
right. Hey, again, Matt Lazat said he fumbled 2 years ago twice against Lincoln County and didn't fumble again until tonight. But
Big
boy,
difference seeing Lockhart, at quarterback, and then having Turner come in. That was a huge swing in the game as well. Lockhart, a young guy who looks like he's going to be a good quarterback coming up.
He's got a great future, but boy, Turner, he, for a little guy, he puts a lot of zip on the ball, and Letman is just a mismatch for most defensive backs that Aquinas has, and it showed tonight. Letman pretty much had his way when he wanted to, get open, he did.
Well, I guess Turner and Letman, that combination, they're used to each other.
Yeah.
Because Letman, he dropped a couple of balls that Lockhart put fairly close to being a catchable, a very catchable ball.
Well, Lincoln County's thrown the ball more this year than I remember them throwing in most years. I mean, they'd already attempted 90 passes or a little bit more than that this year. And Turner taking a knee there as well. Another flag down. Aquinas not wanting to give up on this one.
Not wanting to give up, hoping you can bust a fumble out there doing something.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Okay.
You got to get on the line.
Folks, what a game we've had here, and some great individual performances. Deshaun Taylor was outstanding for Lincoln County. The linebacker, Jalen Franklin, was outstanding. Norman had the big play. Of course, your quarterback came in and hit Letman on the game-winning touchdown, Ben Turner. So
two teams very well known for their offensive power. Have great defensive games tonight.
Defensive
20-13.
The defense was the key tonight, and really it's 20-13. But you had a defensive touchdown thrown in there too. Timeout on the field right now. Larry Campbell is going to pick up. Just win number 464. No big deal. 112 more than any other coach in the history of Georgia. There's Matt Lazat, and you feel for him. This is a game that they no doubt look to and circle on their calendar. Lincoln County is the program in Class A and have been for a long time, and it was their chance to break the long streak. But tonight, they couldn't keep that momentum. For whatever reason, they had a couple of lapses.
And to remind our listeners, I believe single A football in Georgia now, if you are a private school, you play a different playoff system, correct?
Yeah, a different playoff system. Last year, Aquinas made a run in the playoffs and beat a very good Wilcox County team. He said it was the loss to Lincoln County that gave them confidence that they could play with anybody. Now they know they can play with anybody.
They sure do. They won the first half. Lincoln County wins the second half.
The future's pretty bright. You're playing a lot of young players, and yet you're still beating quality football teams as they've done tonight. You see the final seconds ticking off the clock, and a very nice comeback for Larry Campbell and his Red Devils. They didn't have the ball past midfield in the first half, yet they get a win tonight. Two good coaches right there, two of the best. The elder statesman and the young coach meeting at that center of the field. That's what it's all about.
Lazat's going to be a great coach. I mean, he's already a great coach, but he's going to be one of those coaches well known in the area if he continues to stay here and coach high school football.
Absolutely. And Larry Campbell gets another win as Lincoln County improves to 5-1. Aquinas drops to 5-1 with a 20-13 final score tonight. Lincoln County is going to get the win. In just a moment, we're going to hear from Larry Campbell, the head coach here at Lincoln County. Look at him talking to Brendan Douglas.
Absolutely.
That's a moment I like seeing right there. Him talking to Brendan Douglas. And I guarantee you he's talking about that play. Son, forget about that. You got bigger fish to fry the rest of the way. But that's a special moment right there.
That's a moment that just gave me chills because when Coach Campbell gives you credit, and he spends that much time with you and you're an opposing player, he knows that what a special player Brendan Douglas is.
I mean, he's won 14 state titles, as I said, 464 games, and yet he takes the time to do that. That was a special moment caught on tape. Great job by the camera crew. And we're going to get Larry Campbell here in just a moment. He's got a lot of folks trying to talk to him. And let's go down now. Stephanie French has Coach Campbell.
Coach Campbell, great turnaround in the second half. Definitely a great pep talk that you had for the guys. What did you guys tell them?
I wish I could take some credit for that, but very little did we talk about except how big the game was as far as the region standings. And we were just embarrassed. We had not had a first down in the whole first half. And that's credit to Aquinas, good football team.
And now we just saw you talking to Brendan Douglas. What did you tell him?
I played him 4 years. He is just a quality young man. Super kid.
All right, well, congratulations again on your win tonight.
Thank you kindly, appreciate it.
All right, Ryan A.B., back up to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot. Yeah, absolutely. And he's probably happy he might not have to worry about him again because Brendan Douglas can put some fear in a coach. But, again, give Lincoln County a lot of credit tonight. Both teams came out and played their absolute tails off. And in the end, it's Lincoln County that's going to get the win. But Aquinas, no doubt they realize now that we can play with anybody. And there's our crew there, James Dean and company. If we don't make mistakes, is this what you're saying if you're Matt Lazat? If we don't make mistakes, we can beat anybody in the state of Georgia.
A lot of flags thrown tonight. Personal fouls, they'll get you. You know, it's a game of field position. We saw it in the first half. Field position was in their favor. Second half, field position was not in their favor. And turnovers.
We got to wrap it up, folks. That's going to do it. Lincoln County beats Aquinas 20-13. Thank you for tuning in to WJBF Game Night Live. We'll see you next time.